6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Titans news from practice yesterday. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky left practice early with a bicep injury, and rookie wide receiver Carnell Tate left practice early after coming up dizzy after a hit by Kevin Winston Jr. Head coach Robert Saleh said that both Trubisky and Tate should be good soon. NFL news, according to multiple reports last night, the Colts and six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen agreed to a one-year deal worth up to $8.32 million. The Colts now add quality depth to an already thin wide receiver room. The 34-year-old is entering his 14th NFL season. Also, Saints rookie wide receiver Jordan Tyson, who has looked great in training camp thus far, is expected to miss roughly 2 months with a hamstring injury. Tyson, whose injury is said to not be related to his previous one, could begin the season on short-term injured reserve. And in college football news, the first preseason AP poll was released yesterday. The Tennessee Vols come in ranked at number 20. Ohio State got the preseason number 1 overall ranking, and 5 SEC teams, Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma, made the top 10. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Back in studio, kicking off your Tuesday morning on 104.5 The Zone. Welcome in. Hope you had a great Monday. Glad you've decided to join us on your Tuesday morning commute, whether you are headed down I-24 or from the bedroom to the home office. You've come to the right place. 615-737-1045 is our number. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, Will Bowling. Stream it live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We tell you what happened yesterday at Titans training camp. Visit with Austin Price at 8:20 after Tennessee's first scrimmage of 2 to decide the new starting quarterback of the Vols. And one Titans player has been given baptism by fire over the last 2 practices at the Vanderbilt Health Football Center. All that and more on Tuesday, August the 18th. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing?
We're good. I guess I will be even better if I turn my mic on, man. We're good, man. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
You as well?
Yes. Dude, you mentioned something. I forgot that was even an option. You said from the bedroom to the home office. I forget we still have those type of scenarios.
We got a lot of folks who join us on 104.5 The Zone TV and never leave the comfort of their own homes as they do their workday.
You know what's crazy about that, though? You can hardly tell because traffic coming from 65 north is insane.
Hey, you're coming in hot today.
Yeah, coming in real hot this morning. Policeman had somebody pull over on the median getting on the ramp from Goodlettsville. It's clear now. Of course, as soon as I get by, it becomes clear, so nobody else is late besides me. But with that being said, traffic has been heavy the last 4 days. And I know kids are back in school, but I didn't realize we had that many people back in office or just it hadn't been this dense this early, and I feel like the fall season, if that makes sense to you. I don't know. Either way, we made it. You're here. I'm here. Hawk is here. And we got some details, I guess, about what happened at practice yesterday.
We are ready to go. Locked and loaded.
Yeah, we are.
Another good day for Cam Ward yesterday, who was 22 of 28 at Monday's Titans training camp practice. 19 of 25 in team periods in the last 2 practices. Since the San Francisco 49ers game, Cam Ward, according to Jim Wyatt of TennesseeTitans.com, is 43 of 53. Are you a little less concerned today, Ramon, about Cam Ward than you were the day after the preseason game?
What I feel like we're seeing, except on one play when Jeffrey Simmons turned the burners on one play. Did he look fast to you on that play?
He always looks fast to me.
I know he does, and just mean and powerful, does it? And not
always.
Other than one play, man, like you were just saying to yourself, he's kind of cooking the way you need him to. You see the processing as well. I think that's the other part that Cam's dealing with is trying to get rid of his old ways and trying to listen to the coaches and develop himself into a better quarterback that plays, a better player that plays the quarterback position. I feel like he's balancing those 2 things right now. So watching him hold in the pocket, just what's the move, I guess, hold door. It's Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. It's almost like him. Just hold the door. Hold the door. hold the door, Cam, and he's sitting in the pocket. Hold door. And it's hard at times. I've been there before where I've given up an inside charge more often than I want to. Then I'm overthinking it. Then I got to make sure I do it in pre-practice, do it in practice, and then take it to the game as well. So I'm hoping that's the processes that he's taking to move into that next step of being comfortable to where he doesn't feel sped up in the stadium. And I don't want to continually harp on that word, but that is the process of trying to get to that next stage in which he realized I'm comfortable here, and it looked like it yesterday.
Yeah, I just think that's the reality of where we are. Everything is about his speed and about how quickly he processes things. I'd still like to see it in a stadium.
Yeah.
Before I can really put to bed, all right, well, that was just a bad day against San Francisco, because this really is a continuation of what his 3 or 4 practices leading up to the 49ers week looked like. And then we still had a bad performance in the stadium on Thursday where you go 5 of 12.
For sure.
So, yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better, but marginally. I need to see this kind of performance on Sunday night in prime time against the Seattle Seahawks to really, truly feel like Cam Ward is back on the right track, and that was maybe an outlier game.
Let me, I guess this is the other part, though, too, as far as like slowing stuff down that every player goes through. I think one of the best wide receivers, at least electric wide receivers, and I let me know if I'm off base here, Deshaun Jackson, D-Jack.
I don't think anybody here's going to argue with you on that.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure where I was on just putting him on that pedal. So I knew he was pretty solid. But, like, Deshaun Jackson had a clip I saw, and it might be older. It's about 2 weeks ago I saw this. He said before he even had a conversation with Jerry Rice, he's like, this at the time, it's like he didn't know Jerry Rice knew who he was. And Jerry Rice came up to him and was like, slow down. It's like, what? He's like, we've never had a conversation. He's like, you're too fast. You can run your routes just a little bit more calmer and break down guys even better if you just slow down. He's like, but speed has always been my thing. He's like, awesome. But you're not running your routes appropriately in order for you to be the person that you want to be. And it was funny, Deshaun Jackson was telling a story, and I don't know if we can play. I think it has some profanity in it. But he was just more or less, he's like, I wasn't cruising. He's like, I just had to realize where I was on the field so that I can break down the DB and make my cuts and make my outs. And he's like, when it was time for me to turn it on, it's like I was able to do that because I understood what he meant by slowing down. So, like, we all somewhat go through this process. And I do think that, like, that is probably another, just level in which Cam's got to recognize what is all gas, no brakes. Like, at the quarterback position, a little bit different. But I thought, of course, like, referencing Deshaun Jackson, a guy that's known to be fast, had to learn how to slow down in order to be a better player as well. It was a cool clip of a great telling him something that he needed to hear in those moments right there. So this speed, this game, it is faster. But, like, the way you process and how you break somebody down, and even Cam manipulating the pocket, like, there's a lot that goes into, hey, I got time, and when the time is that I need to go in those situations.
I would also say Cam needs to slow down the speed of the footballs he's throwing from time to time.
Yeah. Ooh.
Getting the ball out quickly is different than throwing the ball too quickly.
I agree.
I mean, there is such thing as throwing a football too hard, I think, at times.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still having a little bit of trouble with that. And I think that's part of what plagued him against the 49ers was throwing a fastball when a changeup would have been just fine. Like, he's got plenty of arm strength to kind of let it eat. It's like a golfer who's got natural power trying to hit the ball as hard as they can. Sometimes when you have natural God-given ability to hum it in there, you don't need to try to hum it in there, if that makes sense.
No doubt. I saw the clip. I sent it to our chat. To that same point about the touch, the positioning of the ball and stuff like that. There is one throw that Cam, I think, needs to, let me say this. I've never played quarterback. But watching this from left to right when he throws his sidearm, it's legit. Or if a guy's not running a stationary route, going from right to left, he's good at it also with the sidearm. There was one particular play you mentioned, just the heat that needs to be taken off the ball, or I would also say, Will, the trajectory of the ball coming out of his hand.
It needs to be a more catchable ball that allows receivers to catch and run without having to slow down to catch it.
Because he had an incompletion yesterday I thought would have been a completion had he either changed the angle of his arm in which he threw it, or the speed of which the ball came in as well. Wan'Dale Robinson had a drag route from right to left. Cam was throwing from right to left as well, and it ended up being just a little bit behind Wan'Dale. The ball was at the level that it needed to be, but throwing sidearm like that, maybe if he goes over the top with that pass, if he can in that moment, it's probably a completion, right? Like, and that is some of that processing stuff where you just got to say to yourself, like, hey, maybe not sidearm here, maybe overarm and give myself a little bit more room over the top so I can hit Wan'Dale and stride. Left to right, awesome with the sidearm going right. Like finding that touch. These are some of the things that you have to work on when you play that position. And that unique arm angle that he has, it ain't many guys that can do it. When he's on with it, it is fire hot. And it's exciting to see, but that could have been a drag route for Wan'Dale with a catch and run that would have been netted a whole lot more yards, you know?
I think we're seeing too many RPOs where the football's hitting the ground as well for that exact same reason.
Yeah.
The throw he made to Wan'Dale Robinson that was incomplete off his fingertips in San Francisco, where he's got a nickel showing blitz to his left. He knows he has isolated two defensive backs against two wide receivers. And if he could get the ball out on time to Wan'Dale Robinson, and if he can make one guy miss and the outside receiver gets a block, he might score. And he rushes it just a little bit. His feet shuffle very quickly, and he just guns it out there like he's trying to put the football between two defenders over the middle of the field. I think sometimes Cam Ward is making things more difficult than they need to be.
No doubt about it. But that's been his style, which is why I say, like, it doesn't shock me that he goes into that podium and admit I was sped up. Right. That's a whole lot, and for the people that want to make that conversation, a whole lot different of a conversation between I got to rewire my brain. That is telling myself I got to trust myself. Right? Well, that's what you're getting to.
Trust the protection, right?
Trust the protection, and also trust the process that you've done and we've seen you do in practice as well. Like carrying it over from the practice field to the game is the part of being a professional also, because there will be a point probably in Cam's career where he probably don't practice as much when he gets older. Still being able to take that muscle memory from the practice field to the game is something that needs to be a part of his game. But you got to train for that as well. That's where all these reps come into play as far as practice is concerned.
Carnell Tate made the play of the day in yesterday's practice, a long ball over the top from Cam Ward in a 2-minute period. He made a beautiful catch and then got popped by Kevin Winston Jr. This was a scary moment for maybe 10 to 15 seconds. It never appeared like Tate was in a whole lot of pain where this was going to be anything significant. Robert Saleh said post-practice he's getting evaluated, but I think he just got a little bit dizzy. I don't think we're concerned about concussions or anything. We've seen some criticism of Kevin Winston on social media, like, hey, don't hit our receiver. Like, this was a football play. You want guys to compete. You want guys going responsibly all out, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with anything Winston did here.
No, it wasn't like the David Martin Robertson hit in the 49er games. It wasn't anything close to that, in my opinion.
No.
I thought he aimed more for the chest.
It would have been in a game, but this wasn't a game. I mean, he pulled up a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He did pull up on him, but Carnell still brought it down. That is one of those moments, though, where it happened. Friendly fire happens all the time. And don't be overly protective because it's your first round wide receiver in this situation. You want, as much as the secondary has been critiqued last week, you want this type of stuff from your secondary from time to time. And again, I thought it was more funny after I knew he was fine, Will, that Wan'Dale and everybody else around Carnell's like, get up. We got to spike the ball. We got to go. And I think that's a testament also to, like, man, look, are you injured or are you hurt? And I think he just got a little bit of shaking up on that play, man. If he does, end up having to go on the protocol, I mean, he got a few days before the game anyway. So,
and it does not appear like that will be the case.
Yeah. I was shocked because, again, vets are like, we got to win this drill right now. They're whistling him up as quick as they possibly could. And I think he was ended up being fine for the most part, man.
Mitch Trubisky did not finish practice. He was flexing his right arm at the end of the practice session. Robert Saleh said, I think we're good, but I'm the eternal optimist. When asked about him post-practice, he mentioned that he was being looked at for a bicep injury. Trubisky was 8 of 13 before going inside. That left Will Levis to get a little bit more work. Hard to really know whether or not we should be concerned on this. until we do or don't see him out there tomorrow and get more info. But doesn't sound like it's something that's a big deal.
No, I don't think it was either. He walked off, and again, he's a veteran. Anytime those guys feel something, it's just like a world-class pitcher, right? Well, anytime they feel something, they know when to shut it down before it goes any further. You can't afford to not be available to this team, and he knows what his body feels like probably better than anybody on the squad, to be honest, right?
A little bit of a red flag anytime you're dealing with a quarterback and a throwing arm injury. I mean, I wouldn't expect to see him out there Wednesday, but we don't know. I mean, it just, you want to work in the abundance of caution, but it might give Will Levis a little bit of a better opportunity against Seattle to showcase what he can do.
Yeah.
Because his offensive line did not give him much of a chance to showcase what he could do on Thursday in San Francisco.
It's probably the saddest part of the game right there. If I'm critiquing it,
it's up there.
You can't allow the level of play to just plummet the way it did when they got into the game. Like, it wasn't like it was just they made plays. Like, no, you guys just opened the floodgates.
We're not doing basic things.
No, we're not. Like, and I'm sure Carmen Bracillo were ticked off. I'm sure he was ticked off. Like, we didn't train for this. Like, and if you weren't ready to go in, you should have been.
Unfortunately, that is more of a continuation of what we've seen in practice.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better today about the Titans starting offensive line than I did even a month ago. I kind of have the same trepidation that I did about the 2s and 3s of the offensive line that I did at the beginning of camp.
I got one asterisk I want to talk about at some point, too, about the OL as well. It's just a great lesson. Oh, we'll do it right now. Right now, I'm looking at my guy, Fernando Carmona, who I believe is going to take that step, and Jeff is putting him in a mixer from time to time.
It's baptism by fire right now for young Fernando Carmona.
Jeff ended up getting clean on one play, threw his hands up like MJ after he made that shot. You know what I'm saying? You remember the dude, they were playing quarters in the light? He threw his arms up. But he needs that.
And after practice, Jeffrey Simmons was talking with Carmona, explaining to him how he beat him.
That.
And Peter Skronsky was in on the discussion as well with Carmona post-practice.
Love that. That's what it's supposed to be. How did you kick my butt? What are you seeing?
Well, that's also why you don't trade Jeffrey Simmons.
That's very true, too.
That's the kind of conversation that really benefits a young football team.
And the fact that Peter Skronsky was right there, too. Who else went through that? Pete did, right? Like, that's the other side of it.
Sometimes he's still going through it because Jeffrey Simmons is so good.
But less often now, most definitely.
Absolutely.
But, there is so much that it has to be learned and has to be discussed. That, having those veterans on your team, and Jeff has come out and said that between him and J.C. Latham and him and our offensive line in general, I'm here to help you guys. If you guys, not necessarily saying if you can block me, but if I can expose your weaknesses, I'll do that in the practice setting so that you're ready for it as well. And I thought it was, and Jeff presents a unique issue too. I thought about this as far as have I played against a guy like Jeff, watching what he does? Have Malik Jackson was close to that, Vol, when he was in Jacksonville, and especially when he was in Denver. But I don't know if I've had other than Aaron Donald, I don't know if I've had a guy that could be explosive, powerful, push me back as a bull run, right? As often as Jeff does. And now he's gotten to the point with the weight loss and the quickness to where I got to sit for the bull rush. But he's making guys think about the bull rush and beating them with a quick arm over. Quick arm over as I do it over my microphone right here, Will. He's quickly here and beating them on the left side or the right side, literally raising his arm off from like a swim move and getting upfield. And they're not touching them at times. And he will do that in the game, and the situations also present that to happen as well. And the one thing I got to give the Titans offensive coordinator credit and Carmen Bracillo, they're making them block him one-on-one.
O-line coach, Carmen Bracillo.
Yeah, O-line coach. He's making them block him one-on-one. The best way in order for him to get better is to see and have this type of stuff happen. I personally think Carmona's a better run blocker. I think starting off, Peter Skronsky was a better pass protector. He's learning to be better and better at the run blocking himself. So why would I allow you just run on me? Expose him in practice. Put him through the fire and make him seek those answers out. And I love that Jeff is backing him up and telling him, this is what I did to you. And he needs to still go watch that tape over and over again. Look at your failures. Be okay with your failures. And that's what training camp is built on as well, so that we don't deal with
life.
This. It is, man. I don't even want to be philosophical about it, but
there's some truth to it, though.
In the league, in any level, whatever you do, whether you're training from Goodlettsville, from Nolensville, all the way to the pros, or from Little League all the way to the NFL, be okay with your failures. Like, don't run and hide. And I'm glad that he sought out Jeffrey Simmons to figure that out yesterday.
You wake up with us before 7 a.m., we'll give you life lessons as well, in addition to football talk. We'll give you things you can put on a pillow.
Thank you. Absolutely.
615-737-1045 is our number. Live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. The AP poll is out. We have thoughts. I've got teams that are underrated and overrated, and I've got great news for Tennessee fans coming up next. At Ramon Will on Twitter, where you can follow the show. We stream the show for you there on Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. You can always get in with your thoughts on the phone line, 615-737-1045. A community of 20,000 of you have subscribed to the 1045 The Zone YouTube channel, and already over 100 of you are waking up with us there. If you've never tried it out before, come hang out, talk with us, talk with the Zone community. You'll be grateful that you did. The AP poll is out, Ramon, and Ohio State is the number one team in the country, according to AP voters. Not only that, there is not a single SEC team that received a first-place vote. Are you surprised to see that AP voters believe the Big Ten's reign of terror will continue?
Yeah, because I feel like publicly, only one that legitimately gets that respect from East Coast to West Coast is probably Georgia, and Georgia's got questions surrounding it for the most part. Like, I don't know if people really believe in DeBoer in Alabama. Like, Texas still has, okay, can they get over the hump conversation at top five, but, like, are they Ohio State good? You know, like, those are, I guess, the back and forth that you would have nationally when you're discussing these schools. But, like, man, I'm going to talk my trash about what Ohio State is, the Buckeyes, and everything else around them, but you can't have a conversation without acknowledging how good they are and how good they've been as well. Like, I'm into it. I don't think there's anybody as close to them before the season starts, and we'll see how it shake whenever the ball kicks off soon.
A couple things. I'm very surprised to see Texas to not get at least a first-place vote, and I am even more surprised to see that they are fifth. I think Texas is not properly rated here. I think they are underrated. Cam Coleman, Hollywood Smothers, and Malik Brown coming into that offense, all as transfers. An offensive line that I think has nowhere to go but up from what it was last season. Arch Manning, who trended really hard in the right direction at the end of last year. Will Muschamp is back coaching the defense, which has question marks, but again, also brings back a ton of production. Texas doesn't have as much quantity in what it added this past offseason, but it has so much quality.
Yes, it does.
If I was doing my poll, I think I would at least flip Georgia and Texas. I think I would have Texas as my number 2 or 3 team. Georgia would be my number 5. Quite honestly, I think I have Georgia a little bit overrated here. I mean, Mike Bobo's still the offensive coordinator.
This is true.
They returned 13 of 18 defenders with 200-plus snaps last year. They gave up 10 or fewer points in 7 games. This has a chance to look more like a Kirby Smart Georgia defense of national championship teams past than they've had maybe since the last time they won a national championship. But who's catching the football from Gunnar Stockton? I've got big questions about that group. Kirby Smart loves the fact that they're being disrespected, but it's our job to also call it like we see it, and it may work out for them. I would probably still go Ohio State 1. I would have Texas 2. I'm okay with Oregon being 3. I think I'd maybe go Indiana 4. A little more respect for the defending national champs and what they bring back, and Josh Hoover at quarterback, Nick Marsh, the big-time addition from Michigan State at wide receiver. Then I would go Notre Dame, and then I would go Georgia.
Yeah.
And then you have Miami sitting there at number 7, who I think has the best offense in the sport coming into this season.
Miami does.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Darian Minsa, Mark Fletcher, Malachi Toney.
Tough.
You have a Mario Cristobal, Alex Mirabal offensive line that you know is always going to be elite.
Yep.
I think there is a gap, Ramon, from the top 7 teams to everyone else. I think there is a little bit of a rift there from those 7. Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, Indiana, Miami, to then teams that I have bigger questions about. Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, and then I think there's a gap back to Texas Tech at 12.
That's perfectly stated, because I'm looking at 8 through 10 and I'm thinking to myself, like, the only one I would probably push up at any point in time, because they have the quarterback, they have a wide receiver that's really good this year. Defense is going to be their calling card, and that's Oklahoma. I feel like Oklahoma could probably be up at 8 over A&M, but like A&M, I feel like has the more experienced quarterback situation, and of course they spent a lot of money to get right as well. Like it's not strange that Oklahoma's here, right? And 10 is an amazing spot with this class that they have. I mean, with this preseason ranking that they've kind of laid out right now, I would probably push Oklahoma up. I'm not sure about Ole Miss. Push them down. I'm not sure what kind of leadership is going to look like with an entire year, right? You know, you have one of the best young quarterbacks. There's a lot of talent that stay, but they also got pillage as well. Like, Ole Miss may be overrated in this one.
John Mateer has 100 more pass attempts than Marcel Reed in his career.
Does he?
John Mateer is statistically, the more experienced quarterback of the two.
I'm looking for, but after the top 7, I'm with you. Like, the other part that I really want to see in real life form is C.J. Carr at Notre Dame that?
I think he is.
I know, like, the
and
conversation
that's the best secondary in the sport.
Yes, the conversation is, I just want to see it for Notre Dame's sake. Like, can they actually start playing physical with the big guys in college football too? I feel like that's been their biggest issue. And if that's not the case, then can C.J. Carr do it for them?
I mean, they put a lot of linemen in the league.
They do, but like when it comes time to like be mano a mano in games, they're not the chin checkers. They usually get their chin checked, I feel like, more times than not.
I feel like it's kind of important to say that C.J. Carr is the first Notre Dame quarterback since 19 and 20 to be consecutive seasons as the starting quarterback.
Get out of here.
1920?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Where'd you get that?
2019 and 20.
Oh, I thought you said, you said 1920.
The way that we say years sometimes these days is like 19 and 20.
Yeah, since
It was 1920, and old Curly Jenkins was returning as the starting quarterback of the Fighting Irish.
Yes, this is Marcus Freeman's first returning starting quarterback.
Curly Jenkins is the Heisman favorite for the Fighting Irish this year. He will deal with a true freshman quarterback, Diego Pavia, for New Mexico. Oh, sorry. Diego Pavia wasn't playing in the 1920s.
No,
although it felt like it.
Since the 20s.
Yes.
Okay. I got you. I was about to say, my brother, like, no, we got history. We got
19
Google.
and 20.
19 and 20. Yeah, since the 20s.
So Notre Dame comes in here at 4.
Yeah.
They do have the second best odds to win the national championship, though.
Because of the cupcake schedule that they have. And I say that very, like, with respect. I do.
Do you?
I do.
Do you say that with respect?
At this point, we can't even talk about them no more. It's just like, yeah, I know who I am.
Why not? We're talking about it right now.
Because
talking about Curly Jenkins back in the 1920s. The last returning starting quarterback of the Fighting Irish.
And they're everywhere as well. There's some Fighting Irish listening to us right now, I'm sure. And they don't care that they get the biggest check in all of college sports, and they play one of the easiest schedules. Yes, they mail it in, and they just get ready for the playoffs. I'm all right with it at this point, but they also recruit well, and they got a cool head coach. So
they start the season with Wisconsin. They host Rice, Michigan State, Purdue.
Don't you dare act like this.
Purdue, who says if you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana, according to their athletic director, which is a statement that he said out loud for people to hear. They play the 33rd team in the NFL October 3rd.
Carolina?
They play North Carolina.
That's going to be a barn burner.
They host Stanford October 10th.
I just saw that tree in California.
They play BYU. BYU is a good team. BYU is number 14, tied for 14. They go to BYU October 17th. The thing is, the way college football's set up now, they could lose that and not even have to break a sweat about their playoff
Catholics
chances.
and the Mormons, baby.
Notre Dame Navy on Halloween.
Wow.
Then they host Miami November 7th.
Oh, okay.
Big time game. Yeah. That is going to be a great game.
The strength of schedule still matter. If they lose that one.
Matter for what?
For Notre Dame's like they've played nobody.
But again, matter for what? Like, matter for making the playoff? Not really. Matter for us viewing them as a national title contender?
Right. Yeah.
So again, like, strength of schedule matters to answer what question?
That's right. To us, yeah, it matters. To them making a CFP,
yeah, just go 10-2 and cruise your way in.
I think it also depends on when you play the team as well. Because last year they played Miami early in the season. This year it's a little bit later. So sometimes relevancy.
That's true. That's true.
Like either way, I mean you're playing the team either way.
They're in.
Boston College, November 14th. Kevin Jennings at SMU, and then Syracuse. Old Fran Brown.
Fran Brown, fan of Fran. Fran fighting an uphill battle, man, at Syracuse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ohio State with the best national title odds at plus 550. Oregon third at plus 700. Texas fourth at plus 850. And Georgia fifth at plus 850. Mm-hmm. I've got great news for Vols fans. You ready for this?
Talk to us.
Tennessee is ranked 20th in the AP poll.
Let's go, baby.
You want to know who's ranked 20th in last year's initial AP poll?
Indiana.
The national champion, Indiana Hoosiers. Go ahead and book your flights.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey.
Hotels. Where is the national title game this year? Let's see.
Probably Phoenix. Is it in Arizona this year?
National championship game site is in Las Vegas. Okay. Okay. Vols fans at Vegas this January for the national title game. I can't wait.
Should we make some bets? Or, sorry, should I make a bet?
Yeah.
I was going to say, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, we can do push-ups. What you want, Hawk?
Do push-ups?
Yeah.
I can't do very many.
Well, I'm not putting anything. I'm not putting any sort of exercise on Tennessee making the national title game.
Hey, 20-1, baby. Let's go. Book it. Let's go, Will. I'm here for it, man. 20 is low enough, man, to feel like you got to fight for something, though, as well. Like, that's kind of just where I'm at. Like, I feel like LSU's in the same spot, too. Texas Tech and Alabama. Alabama ranked 13th in the preseason.
A little too high for me.
Obama is?
A little too high for me.
Meaning they should be like 16, 17?
Yeah.
I love you ain't even hating right now.
Then again, though, I don't know if I would have Texas Tech ahead of them.
What? I don't even know how to present Texas Tech. They might just sue me to start playing for them again with all the stuff they had going on this offseason.
Are they talking to Jaden Daniels' mom?
Why? Because they can't have the number.
No, because they might sue you. Why would they sue you?
Because, again, that's all they did this offseason. They did no football. They just did lawsuits and try to get people to play for them. They had real issues. That would have been an issue anyway have Texas Tech gone after that quarterback. He couldn't play in Vegas for the national championship.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
That would have been tough.
That's the final boss level of Brennan Sorsby's gambling addiction. All right, son, we're going to play the national title game in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Be careful. Do not bet on any balls and strikes in Cincinnati Reds games while you're here. No, thanks.
Yes, appreciate you, sir. But no, Michigan, I'll see what they're going to be like as well. They're 16th on this list.
Bryce Underwood back at quarterback. Looking through this, there are so many teams with returning starting quarterbacks in this sport this year. I think more so than last year. Mm-hmm. We're going to run through this real quick. Number 1, Julian Sands back. Number 2, Dante Moore is back. Number 3, Gunnar Stockton is back. Number 4, C.J. Carr is back. Number 5, Arch Manning is back. The top 5 teams in college football all returned their starting quarterback from last year. Yeah. Josh Hoover, Darian Mensah, outliers here. A&M and Ole Miss both bring back their quarterbacks, including Nashville's own Marcel Reed.
Yay.
Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss, John Mateer at Oklahoma. There are 2 teams in the top 10 in college football this year who don't return their starter from last year.
That's nuts.
Going through the rest of it, Will Hammond at Texas Tech. Not the starter, but he's at least back within the program. Alabama will have a new starter. Bear Bachmeier back at BYU. Mm-hmm. Jordan Mailata back at USC. Bryce Underwood back at Michigan. Damon Williams back at Washington.
Wow.
I'm going to say honorary returner Rocco Becht is back with Matt Campbell at Penn State.
At Penn State.
Because they've just imported Iowa State into blue and white Adidas jerseys. Kevin Jennings back at SMU. Tennessee new starter. Devin Dampier at Utah. Yeah. Connor Wegman at Houston. Like, more teams than not have returning quarterbacks in the top 25. And I think that's going to make a really interesting season where you might have more teams with higher floors than you did last season.
Is there speaking of higher floors, is there a crisis at Clemson not making the top 25?
There's been a crisis at Clemson.
I know it is, but Missouri got
completely irrelevant in the national title picture now.
Like
completely.
The conversations with Missouri edged them out for top 25 votes. Like, that is insane to me. Clemson with a long tenure head coach?
Clemson was the team that received the most votes, not in the top 25. Vanderbilt received 8 votes.
Let's go, Vandy.
For the top 20. Placing them number 35. What's wrong with you?
No, the fact that Vanderbilt's getting votes. Will we go back three years ago?
I think their fan base rightfully has higher expectations this year.
3 years
considering
ago.
What they were last season.
Not even getting the vote.
They care about sports now. They are a player here.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
They are a player.
I mean, Missouri slip up.
I don't
right
think
there.
I don't think being ranked 35th is good enough for Vanderbilt fans, nor should it be anymore.
For sure. And also Ole Miss and Louisville and Nashville, I think, to open the season up too. My brother Nardo, I think, going to be in town for that. We might just – can we go hate watch?
It's a ranked matchup.
It is a ranked matchup.
I'll be in Knoxville.
Oh, that's Gap weekend right there?
I believe that's week 1.
I might just be here. See who's going to let me sit in there sweet.
That'll be number 9 versus number 24.
That's going to be a good game.
It will be a good game.
Brahms.
Isaac Brown at running back for the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Very good player.
Yep. And the Browns usually have a good quarterback in Louisville as well, too. So, by the way, Louisville is also Fort Lauderdale North, by the way. They get a lot of Florida players. Look
People
at
have
the
often
roster.
said Louisville is the Fort Lauderdale of the Midwest.
It really is. They get so.
How? What do you mean?
Their roster is filled with nothing but Miami and Florida players. Nothing but
Lamar
Miami
Jackson.
And Florida.
Miami
It isn't, no, seriously.
Northwest
Every single one of their guys is. I guarantee.
Teddy Bridgewater.
They got about 30% of that team probably from Florida. They do real well in that city. It's almost like, some teams have like a pipeline to make it okay to go and recruit in that area. They've talked to the right high school coaches there.
Lamar was Boynton Beach Community High School.
Yeah.
Pompano Beach, Florida.
Pompano Beach, yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Teddy, you mentioned.
Weather a lot better in Miami than it is in Louisville. Yeah, no doubt. Weather's better in Miami than it is anywhere. 615-737-1045 is our number. A rookie wide receiver is out for months, and the Colts are making an addition to their wide receiver room. NFL headlines coming up next.
Get ready for one epic engagement ring event at Genesis Diamonds. You've been hearing about it. Now it's here. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Genesis has flown in the entire collection, both Tacori and Viraggio, the two most sought-after bridal designers in the world. Hundreds and hundreds of rings, all new styles. And during this once-a-year event, you can get special incentives and save up to $5,000. You know the names as well. Viraggio, handcrafted by true artisans and unmatched attention to detail. And Tacori, exquisite rings known for their hidden detail and timeless beauty. These are the finest American-made rings, distinctive, stylish, and handmade. Other jewelers are not even allowed to carry these premium brands, but Genesis has them and will be showcasing the entire collection at this event. Genesis is also fully stocked with an all-new shipment of GI-certified diamonds in every shape and size, direct from the cutters, so you can create your perfect ring from the ground up. Enjoy special event incentives, 0% interest financing, up to $5,000 in savings, but it's only 3 days. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Genesis Diamonds. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Wrapping up hour one this morning in Ramon and Will, and there is a big injury in the NFC South. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. Jordan Tyson has had a great training camp, according to reports in New Orleans. But the Saints' first-round pick at wide receiver is set to miss around 2 months with a hamstring injury. Injured during a joint practice with the Jags on Thursday. Ramon, he sought multiple opinions, but this is a different hamstring issue than the one that he dealt with at Arizona State, and his rookie season will be derailed, at least for the first month and a half.
Have you seen, I guess, his injury list per year?
Yes.
And all the things?
I have.
Knee injury in 22. Knee recovery in 23. Fractured collarbone in 24. Right hamstring in 25. And right now, hamstring again in 26. Like, some guys, man, were born great with the stuff that they're capable of doing. Get out the bed and do a vertical dunk with no warm-up or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, those types of dudes. But it's these injuries right here that don't allow that greatness to be seen. Like, here's the other part, though, too. Like, you're on a hope and a wish that he leaves that behind, whatever his training is, from, college to the NFL, and it still has chased him. I'm wondering what is it? Like, is it dehydration? Is it not enough protein? Is it there are so many things, not enough carbs? Like, does he have enough fat on his body to somewhat put himself in a position where he's protected against that? Like, you can be very lean. I'm not ever been like a super lean guy myself, but like, I see guys that have like super lean body makeups and they run into these issues, either popped pecs or, hamstring issues growing. It's like it shows up. And again, when it's this constant, like, he almost needs to be sent to Nike, if he's a Nike athlete, up into their facilities in Oregon, like, to work out there. He can either go to, even Gatorade. Like, I know they have training facilities. Like, find out what is his issue. Pull his blood if you have to figure out what's happening with his muscle fibers to kind of keep him on the field. At this point, it needs to be a study for himself.
It's not great. And the fact that it's a different hamstring, honestly, wouldn't make me feel much better.
No.
He's just a guy who's always hurt at this point. And we've both known athletes who are that guy.
Yeah.
Whether it's their fault or not, whether they're not doing the work they need to in the offseason or they are, whether it's the wrong inserts in their shoe. Like, there's so many different avenues that you can take to get to just always being hurt. And clearly he is on them.
It was Jackson Smith and Jigba you spoke about. Wore too small shoes. Like, it was causing him to have hamstring issues. If I'm not mistaken, he reported that. Like, I'm with you.
There's something going on here that's not working the way it's supposed to.
No, it's not. And apparently he's had a real good training camp as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Colts are signing Chargers and Bears vet Keenan Allen, according to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, who has this deal at 1 year up to $8.32 million. I would probably argue that it is not close to $8 million and that there are a lot of incentives that could get him up to that point. How much does Keenan Allen, Ramon, move the needle for you as a veteran addition into a thin Colts wide receiver room?
Going to play 8 or 9 games on that turf at his age, not a lot. At this point, one, he's got to learn the playbook. The other part of it is, at 32 years old, you say he is?
He was 33 last year.
Almost 34.
He just turned 34 in April.
He's probably not going to practice. He's just a game day body for them. I think the talent is there. I don't think the sustainability of it is there either. I'll be shocked if he get 1,000 yards this year or even play the entire season.
Last year was the only 17-game season of his career. As a member of the LA Chargers, he had 122 targets, 81 catches for 777 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, there's very little risk here for Indy. You're not going to get thinner at wide receiver by adding Keenan Allen. You might as well throw him out there and see what he can do, considering it's a 1-year deal, it's not breaking the bank, and there's more upside than there is downside.
It just shows you the level of desperation that they're at right now with the wide receiver. They didn't balance this well when trying to get rid of Michael Pittman Jr. I don't think there was a public issue that he had with the Colts for them to want to get rid of him.
Decided not to pay him.
Man, every good team had got 2 wide receivers. That's the issue that Indy has.
And theirs when healthy are Josh Downs and Alec Pierce. They're just not healthy right now. Neither of them have been totally healthy during camp.
That's what I'm saying.
And Josh Downs is in a much better place injury-wise than Alec Pierce, who is maybe a bit longer term of an injury. But, I mean, clearly Chris Ballard felt the same concerns about his wide receiver room that the rest of us did.
It just feels like there's a hard cap on what Indy's going to be available to do this year with the roster that they have. Well, at the skill positions that they have, too. Tyler Warren's cool, but, like, how far does a tight end take if you don't have dynamic guys on the outside?
615-737-1045 is our number. We'll give you notes from yesterday's Titans practice when we come back. Robert Saleh as well, speaking about a new stimulus for Cam Ward as he tries to slow things down a little bit in his processing. That's next. What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Are you dealing with flickering lights, faulty outlets, or a circuit that won't stay on at home? Lee Company has your back. Lee Company's award-winning team of electricians handle it all, from routine repairs and fixture upgrades to whole home generators. Available 24/7, keep your home efficient and safe by contacting Lee Company online at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for professional electrical service from the business with over 80 years of experience serving Middle Tennessee. Lee Company's been trusted since 1944. They're available 24/7 with 16 community locations in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia. With over 1,800 team members that are involved in our community, they're the best place to go if something's not working the way it's supposed to around the house. So get Lee Company out there to take care of those flickering lights or faulty outlets by heading online to leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need.
7:02. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Bank Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Titans news from practice yesterday. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky left practice early with a bicep injury, and rookie wide receiver Carnell Tate left practice after coming up dizzy after receiving a hit by safety Kevin Winston Jr. Head coach Robert Saleh said that both Trubisky and Tate should be good soon. In NFL news, according to multiple reports, the Colts and six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen agreed to a one-year deal worth up to $8.32 million. The Colts now add quality depth to a thin receiver room. The 34-year-old Allen is entering his 14th NFL season. Also, Saints rookie wide receiver Jordan Tyson, who's looked great in training camp thus far, according to multiple reports, is expected to miss roughly 2 months with a hamstring injury. Tyson, whose injury is said to not be related to his previous one, could begin the season on short-term injured reserve. And in college football news yesterday, the first preseason AP poll was released. The Tennessee Vols come in ranked at number 20. Ohio State got the preseason number 1 ranking, and 5 SEC teams made the top 10 in Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. For all you foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 2 of your Tuesday morning in studio and air conditioning and fluorescent lights. 615-737-1045. No media availability at Titans practice today. We will be back out there tomorrow. And then Friday for a joint practice with the world champion Seattle Seahawks later this week. There is a Titans player who might be the most valuable player not named Cam Ward on this team, who I think is trending in the right direction. We'll talk about that coming up here in 15 minutes. But first, let's talk about Cam Ward, because, Ramon, he had a pretty good day yesterday at Titans practice.
Solid day yesterday, man. Most definitely.
Robert Saleh was asked about Cam Ward's processing speed and the process of slowing that down a little bit.
It's the same thing, it's all reps. Like I said, on game day, things actually go faster, so it's a whole new stimulus, right? So it's good that we were able to get out there and get those reps. Hopefully it progresses into we got a whole new stimulus on Sunday night. It's Sunday Night Football. These kids haven't really had national exposure. You got the world champs coming into town, so there's a whole new stimulus that they've got to go to attack, and I think it's awesome. You can't expose a team, especially a young team like ours, to enough of this stuff as we continue to grow and develop to the team we want to be once the season hits. But for Cam, again, like everyone, it's reps. It's trusting in your technique. It's trusting in your fundamentals. It's trusting in your preparation and just going out and executing.
Robert Saleh speaking yesterday about primetime football Sunday night and maybe the added pressure that comes with that.
It is. Not just that, though, but the schedule of it as well. It's funny hearing him saying these kids, because it is, man. You don't know what you don't know in this league sometimes. And I thought, playing in a 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central game was big stuff. Then you realize when it comes down to Sunday Night Football, the production is bigger. The day is longer. The nerves got to be controlled a little bit better when you go into a late night situation like that, too. So I'm with Coach Saleh. There are a lot of unknowns. When was the last time this team had a late primetime game? The Miami game? And how many people were here to actually be a part of that as well? Cam's never done that in the NFL just yet, like Chimray and Ellick either. Like Tajay. Well, Tajay has, because he was here in those moments.
On that team that played in San Francisco, there were 49 players on the 91-man roster who were not on the team at the end of last season. 49 players.
That's a big contingency, Will. But here's the other part of it, though, too. Like the growth that this team has to have. They have an experienced coach in Coach Saleh that's kind of lived this life with numerous other teams to understand how to manage it. Coach Dable as well, being in the New York media, how to handle that part of it too. When you're unsure about how to deal with the lights, the nerves, controlling them, it can take over your game. It's one of those things, man, where it's only one way to go through it. It's either talk to guys that's been in it, Jeff's been in it a few times, or just be wide-eyed and listen to your coaches in those moments, man. It's a fun process, but it's also one of those ones you got to be good enough to be in those processes. And that's where I feel like this coaching staff is trying to get this team to at some point in time. You don't want to be living at 12 o'clock every single day. I think it's great for our life. But as far as like players' exposure, we're speaking about like some of these high-dollar guys now, and Peter Skoronski, Jeffrey Simmons, and others that are trying to get more exposure, right? That's a part of it, is playing in the late games. Those highlights that come at 12 o'clock, man, they get them in and they get them out. There's a lot of time spent on the late-night games, man, and that's where you're trying to be at some point in time. We'll see if there's a level of there's a point in this season, hopefully, that they can flex a game to later, but winning is what gets you in those gets you into those slots.
How important is it, in your opinion, for Cam Ward to have a better performance on Sunday against the Seahawks than he had last Thursday against San Francisco?
Oh, that's a lot of pressure because it's preseason. But here's what I will say. There is...
You think it's a lot of pressure on him?
No, just because, again, I've been saying it all this week, well, so far since the last showing, I want to see him do well in a stadium again. Mm-hmm. But then that also goes to it being regular season. I would say there's a lot of pressure on him to have a good game. Because you know why? If this is the national game, correct? This Sunday.
Yeah, it's on Fox.
There's a lot of people that's going to be sitting at home watching. A lot of people have heard about Cam and the arm slot. A lot of people have heard about his competitiveness. A lot of people in this city have looked at him and said, last week we need a better showing. There's a lot of pressure that goes into that one. Well, I think it's huge that he has a good game. And not necessarily for the talking heads to validate him, but for him to also to validate himself. He can't go out and have that same performance of misfires because the narratives can be written after this game too. You've already been in the stadium and you're also at home. He's got a lot on his plate. And he's got to make sure that he's pinpoint accurate more than not, Will, moving forward. He can't have, in my opinion, when anything that he does in this upcoming game against the Seahawks, and I would almost bet that they're going to play some of their starters at least early in this second game, but he can't have that intentional grounding. He can't have a miscomputing, right, where he's short-circuiting and creating turnovers. If he's going to tuck the ball and run, he got to go do it. It's just got to be very decisive in this one.
I think the challenge the Titans are facing is that there may be a learning curve in a new system this year with a new quarterback, with a new O-line, and I think it's reasonable to say the Titans should be a much better team in November, December, and January than they are in September. However, their schedule is tougher later in the season than it is at the beginning of the season. And if there is a pathway toward this team competing for a playoff spot, which I don't think is the expectation, I think it's the best case scenario, you're going to have to be solid right out of the gates because some of your most winnable games that you've got to put in the win column in order to be relevant at the end of the season in a playoff race have to be wins at the beginning of the season. And that starts in week 1 with the New York Jets. Setting the tone for this season in the first 3 weeks. I think you've got to win 2 out of your first 3 games in order to feel like you've got a chance at being high enough on that in the hunt graphic by the time the season rolls into colder weather. And before the bye week for this team, before week 9, Jets at home is winnable. I think the Eagles game at home, I know I'm a little bit on an island here. I'm not very high on the Eagles this year compared to some other teams of the NFC. I think that's a winnable game. And I think that's as much about how down I think the Eagles are going to be as it is anything else. And without Jeff Stoutland at O-line, without A.J. Brown, I think they've got major changes happening. A new system for Jalen Hurts again. New York Giants is definitely winnable. Ravens is a tough one. Houston's a tough one. I think at Indy is winnable. And I think Cleveland's very winnable. But then after that, Jacksonville 2 times in 3 weeks. You go to Dallas. No clue what Washington is. Thank goodness we're not playing them in week 5 to avoid a lawsuit. At Detroit is a challenging road trip. Then you get a break with Indy, a break with Vegas. I have no clue what the Steelers are. And again, I think you get the best team of the AFC in the Texans again in week 18. So you may be trending in the right direction after the bye, but you still may be losing some of those games because now you've got harder road trips. You've got to go to Jacksonville. You've got to go to Detroit. You've got to play Houston again. So I think it's going to be interesting the way this team comes out of the gates because if the best case scenario really is still on the table by the bye week, it's because this team is good enough at the beginning to get some of these.
I could jump out real good. You're right. The toughest of the first, 8 games? It's probably Houston, October 11th. Well, Baltimore's going to be sticky.
I mean, I think going to Houston's the toughest game of the year. You know how high I am on the Texans.
A Baltimore game, too, defensively.
Baltimore as well. That's before Lamar Jackson has his yearly ailment as well. He's probably not hurt by week 4.
No doubt about it.
I mean, just being honest.
First 3 weeks, you could go 2-1. You could.
You need to if you're going to have playoff conversations this year. And again, I'm not putting that expectation on them. I'm simply making that point on its own merit. If this is going to be a playoff team this year, or one that even is in the mix for playoffs, you got to start 2-1.
The question I have real quick is how important is it to win this Seahawks game, or is just the ones winning the series? Like if and the other part too, because I'm looking at, I thought the run game against the 49ers was good, but it wasn't much Cam success in that, if that makes sense. Do you need also the run game? Because again, I feel like needs to be the calling card still, but Cam hitting these layups, right?
I want to see all of it. I mean, I want to see points.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
I think it's simple.
I'm with you.
Go down and score. I mean, especially considering you're probably going to be playing a lot of backups again.
This adds a different dynamic with it being a primetime game, too. It just does. And I know it's the preseason version of it, but like there's no other game on. My youngest last night, Dad, turn it on football. I'm like, there's none on tonight, kid. Like, we're chilling. But like, that's the mentality on Sunday night. Is there's nothing else on TV that we really want to watch. I'm not sure if Game of Thrones or House of Dragon is going on right now, but American football is going to be played on Sunday night. It still does mean something. If for anything, this is a dress rehearsal into a primetime nationwide game that you have the ability to show the world what the Tennessee Titans are under Robert Saleh. And there's also in it for him as well.
Do you think guys are thinking about that?
It's
a standalone primetime game in preseason?
I would. Just my personal opinion. I'm not sure if they are, but I would. There's no other game on.
I wouldn't have thought that's a very big deal. But I mean, obviously you lived this and you played it, so I'm not totally disagreeing with you.
It's just that in this structure, some guys are playing games at 12 o'clock, 2:15, 4:30, and then like you're the last one. Like the last games will probably kick off at like 4 o'clock Central, right? Or 3 o'clock Central, and then it's this game at 7.
Depends on the night, yeah.
There's a little bit of stock that goes into it. If I'm Coach Saleh, I'm preparing this team as if the world is watching, even if it is in preseason. I wouldn't care.
Fair enough.
Especially against this Seahawks team.
I think that is a storyline. I don't think it's the biggest piece of this. I think the biggest talking point here is how do guys who didn't perform great turn things around and change the narrative? Mm-hmm. Cordell Flott, backup offensive line, Cam Ward, Carnell Tate, who doesn't have a catch in preseason yet. Not that he performed badly. He just, looking for his first opportunity to catch the football.
Right.
And then, 2, how do guys who did have a good game, Tajay Spears, Fernando Carmona, how do those guys then meet that moment again and prove that that wasn't just one good game? Because that's the other side of this coin. There are players who didn't perform well that we want to see change the narrative. There are players who did perform well, and we want to see, hey, can you do it again? Mm-hmm. Because we could have the same conversation on the positive and negative spin. Fernando Carmona looked great, but it's only one game.
That's true.
Cam Ward and Cordell Flott didn't look great. Hey, but it's only one game. Both are true equally. And so I think against the Super Bowl champions, you have a good opportunity to test yourself and to change narratives in one way or another this weekend.
Yeah, and that challenge gets a little bit thicker. I mean, they just paid Devin Witherspoon out there as well. Like, they got a very nice defense. And, like, these wide receivers' ability to get open. Cam to also not put the ball in harm's way against this defense. This secondary is known to take advantage of a young quarterback.
Coming up, I've got more confidence today in a young Titans starter than I ever have before, and I'm curious if you feel the same way. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone.
The summer heat can wear anybody out, but if you've been feeling drained, even with the AC, it may not be just the heat. 1 in 4 men from ages 35 to 50, they have low testosterone, low level energy, sex drive, motivation, mood, and more. Low T drains your energy and motivation. So if you don't have energy for the things you love, it might even stop recognizing yourself even more, man. So get the answers you need this summer for free. At Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test and get a consultation from a licensed provider who specializes in testosterone replacement therapy. Explore a range of peptides and even get a jump on the summer body with GLP-1s and medical weight loss protocols. Low T Center has been the #1 name in TRT since 2009. Don't spend another day wondering why you don't feel like yourself. Visit fixmylowt.com to schedule your free testosterone test today. That's fixmylowt.com.
Hour 2 of Ramon and Will in studio, streaming live, 104.5 The Zone TV. That's where you can watch us. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We'd love if you hit the subscribe button while you're there. Makes us happy, helps us out. It doesn't cost you a dime. 615-737-1045, how you join us on the phone lines. That's where Fred is in the borough this morning. Wanted to talk a little Titans this morning. What's up, Fred?
Hey, morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, I called in a long time ago, man. I listen all the time, YouTube or podcast, whatever, but I'm a big Titans fan, and I just wanted to call in and say a few things. I don't normally call, I just had to call in this time.
Sure.
Anyway, so I was calling to talk to the point of the expectations of the Titans, right? So to start off, I was listening to the Odd Cup. I don't know if I can say the name of the show, but I was listening to the Odd Cup on Friday, and they brought up a point where they were saying, it was comparing Shedeur and Cam. They were saying Shedeur has a bad practice. It's national news. They said Cam had a bad preseason. Nobody talks about it. And they was like, why is that? And the first thing they said was because the Titans are trash and nobody cares, right? The next thing they said was the Titans fans will be happy if they win 6 games. Happy if they win 6 games. So I was thinking to myself, man, I'm not going to be happy if the Titans win 6 games. I'm like, man, I'm not expecting these guys to go out here and compete for a playoff spot or compete for the division or whatever. I'm not going to be happy with 6 games. So my expectations for the Titans is not to have a losing season. To me, winning 6 games is not acceptable for me. I'm expecting these guys to go out here and compete and be a good team, right? So it was just a conversation of national news as to like the expectations of the Titans and how fans view them and stuff like that. So yeah. I guess I'm not satisfied with them winning only 6 games. And just the last little point is, it's not crazy to expect Cam Ward, a second-year quarterback, to go out there and be competent in a preseason game when you do see these rookies, Todd Simpson or Mendoza, go out there and have competency as a first time playing in a game. So it is okay to expect him to be not look like Will Levis 2.0 when he gets out there, right? So, and the last point is I think like Zach and Blaine said, week 1 is probably a must-win for the Titans against the Jets. And also probably week 4 is probably a must-win for the Titans, if you ask me. So we could probably got to win both of those games, at least one of those games, where we run the risk of starting the season 0-5 or 1-4 right out the gate, So sure. I'm just like, I'm expecting us to go out there and win and compete.
No doubt.
Thank you, Fred. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate that call, Fred.
I'll start with the last one. I just never think week 1 is a must-win. Week 1 is such a liar in this league.
I think this – well, here's what I would say. Jumping off the porch the right way matters. I would throw that out there.
It
does. I get what you're saying, but it matters.
But
16 teams will lose.
How often is week 1 just a complete outlier?
I mean,
all the time.
All the time. But as far as trying to set yourself up for winning ways, I will say it matters, especially when it's the Jets, a team that you're in the same class with, essentially.
Sure. It matters more than it usually does.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's a must-win.
Oh, well, this one against the Jets, my personal opinion, this one against the Jets is closer to a must-win because of who they are.
It's still not a must-win.
It's because of who they are, and it's the AFC game. I will go opposite on you. It's because it's the Jets, most definitely.
Fred, I would say this on the whole 6 wins being okay thing. I do think there is a world where 6 wins is okay. If your quarterback proves to you that he is your franchise quarterback.
Here's what I would say about the 6 wins things in the show that said it. Brady Quinn's on that show.
The Odd Couple is
it's the late afternoon show.
Chris Broussard and
Rob
Parker.
Parker, that's who it is. That's fascinating that they take that approach.
I mean, at this point, Shedeur Sanders is kind of like talking about the WNBA on a national stage. Like everyone just has takes without really thinking very much.
What have the Browns done historically?
Stunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
of course, what Shedeur Sanders does makes national headlines. His last name is Sanders.
It is. And, it's to me, it's more of a running joke of how bad the Browns have been more than any other team in the NFL, for that matter, in my personal opinion.
I have a hard
Like,
time caring too much about what those guys think about the Titans, with all due respect.
to raise the bar for the
They're
Cleveland
not paying
Browns
attention to
tells
this.
me somebody's on that show is a Cleveland Browns fan. Like, that's the way I somewhat look at that situation. I can get the national narrative. Like, and I do think that's what this franchise is fighting against, to not fall into the pits of being even in a conversation with Cleveland. Like, the incompetency that they have as a franchise bothers me. And you know I joke about this all the time. I don't think the Titans are in that conversation. Like, I think nationally people look at it and just roll their eyes about what the Titans are. But I'm saying, like, as far as reputation, Cleveland has historically botched everything that they've ever put out. In my like, right now they got 4 quarterbacks. The lack of making decisions is not even the same conversation to me.
Yeah, I don't think we need to compare the two.
They got a mock-up of a stadium right now that Buck Rosen called, and I believe it looks like a prison. Like, it does. It looks like a maximum security prison with what they're trying to do with that stadium. And that's Cleveland to me. Yeah, I have a little bit of AFC North hate with this one, but, like, I think it's 2 different conversations.
I think if you won 6 games and your quarterback proved to you he's the guy, and you lost 11 maybe because your secondary isn't ready to play in this system yet and has some growing pains, I'd take that.
Right.
Because I'm not worried about a Robert Saleh defense long term.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get his guys in here. He's going to coach up the ones who are already here. This defense is going to get better.
Yeah.
Under Robert Saleh, in my opinion, long term. I don't know how long it'll take, but if you tell me that Cam Ward makes a major step forward this season and they win 6 games, yeah, I think there is a world where 6 games is okay if you are ascending by the end of the season, which, again, is why I say that the Jets is not a must-win game in week 1.
For sure. Well, because it's the Jets, though, I'm probably going to be amped up in that game that you got them.
Oh, I'm going to be amped up, too. I mean, again, like, I agree with everything you're saying, but all that doesn't mean it's must-win to me.
It doesn't. The world doesn't end.
We watch all the time. Like, let's say they do win it.
Yeah.
How often do we see teams come out in week 1, win a game, feel like they're headed in the right direction, and then they're picking number 1 overall, number 2 overall? It happened last year.
That's true.
Didn't the Las Vegas Raiders beat the New England Patriots in week 1?
Sure did.
What did that do for them? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Their OC was fired like 2 months later.
Yeah, he was.
And so what did that win do for them? Very little.
Very little. I agree with you there.
It's a very important game. Like, it might be one of the most important week 1 games in the history of the Tennessee Titans. That still doesn't make it must win.
It just can't be more of the same. Is what it is. Like, bad teams, you got to start beating the bad teams.
Like, at that point, we need to see improvement from Cam Ward way above what he looked like last Thursday against the 49ers.
No doubt about
it. I'm not minimizing the value of it. There is just no world ever in my brain, the way I view the NFL, where a week 1 game is ever going to be a must-win game. I will never believe that ever in this league.
From a player, well, you're right as far as the way you watch it. I've always just said, man, you start off the season the right way, and that's usually what a dub. Now, here's the thing.
It's important.
A highly contested, tight loss, okay, now we got something to build on. Now we got filming ourselves inside of stadiums and what that means. Most definitely. But to sit back and enjoy that week 1 feel of starting the season off right, I've always lived in that life where I'd much rather be one at home, but also win at home as well.
Geno Smith threw for 362 against the New England Patriots, who won the AFC in a 20-13 win last year in week 1. We were like, oh, Vrabel doesn't know how to be a head coach. Wow, the Raiders could be great under Pete Carroll. They have a new head coach and a new quarterback now.
And they also won a Super Bowl without, which is crazy, right? Well, no, that's Vegas. I'm thinking about Seattle for that moment he ended up going from Seattle to Vegas. Yeah, you're right. Huh, fascinating.
I want to spend some time on J.C. Latham, Ramon, because my confidence is growing in the player that we said before training camp might be the most valuable Titan, not named Cam Ward, at least on offense. Mm-hmm. I think you could make the argument he is as valuable as anyone not named Jeffrey Simmons or Cam Ward on the entire football team. Talking about making a conscious decision to be more physical, he drops a bar at the end of this quote from post-practice yesterday.
think it's definitely making a conscious decision to play more physically. But I think the other end of it, as I said last time when I was up here, is, being the team that it was in the past, when you're looking to establish yourself not only as a player or as a unit, as an offense and team and franchise, there's no revolution without bloodshed, So every single day you're gonna step up and you're gonna be as physical as possible, impose your will day in, day out. So that's where you're gonna see tensions rise, tensions flare. And I mean, because it's a very emotional, very tension game. But yeah, I mean, just playing with physicality every single play through and through the whistle is something that we pride ourselves on, and one of our pillars of our unit.
There's no revolution without bloodshed, J.C. Latham says.
Philosophical.
Let him cook.
A defensive lineman could never say a quote like that.
All right.
Smart out here, bro. Smart out here, Will.
J.C. Latham asked about losing some weight this year. I thought this was really interesting. He spoke about gaining weight during yesterday's practice.
I've never actually lost weight. I don't know how. I don't know. I was 347 this morning. I was 348 after practice. So I don't know how that happens. I'm not eating on the field. I'm just drinking water. So yeah, I don't know.
That's good though. He need to go talk to Jordan Tyson about that. It's probably what he needs to be doing in practice, man.
Robert Saleh talked post-practice about the thing J.C. Latham is doing now that from what he saw on film, he wasn't doing a year ago, going back to talking about physicality.
The one thing that he's done that I don't feel like we saw a year ago is the physicality at which he plays. He's at a really good weight, so his foot speed is where we want it to be, and we felt like he was always strong enough. But you combine the foot speed with the physicality that he's playing with, and he's moving people. He's strapping people at the line of scrimmage. The challenge for him is not to take his flowers. Right now, just stay on the grind, stay where he is, try to improve not only physically but mentally. And but he's tracking to have a really nice year. He's just got to stay the course.
And then I thought this was a really insightful answer from Robert Saleh about what he originally saw from J.C. Latham coming out of college at Alabama, and a bigger talking point on the balance between size and speed on the offensive line.
I think it's all encompassed. I think it's always in there. When we evaluated him coming out of college, we felt like he was a big, strong, athletic, physical human being, and but it's all encompassing. He's always been massive. And that's what we've talked about with JC when we got here, and I'm sure it's been a topic of discussion for him in the past, but he doesn't have a weight problem. He can look at a weight when he's working out. He'll go look at a bar and he'll gain 5 pounds of muscle. So it's more of he's an elite person. He's got elite work ethic. He's just got to be very conscientious. He can get as big as he wants to get. It's just going to affect his foot speed. So there's a balance of understanding that he's already plenty strong enough. How much can he work to keep his weight at a spot where he doesn't lose his strength, but he gains a bunch of speed? You don't want him to go down too much where he gains a whole bunch of speed and loses power. And so right now he's at a sweet spot, and he's just got to be able to maintain that.
Titans head coach Robert Saleh talking yesterday. You like what you hear there?
I do.
How hard is that balance to find for a player of J.C. Latham's size and stature? Of being big enough but also fast enough? Because you've mentioned his feet haven't been quick enough over his first 2 seasons, especially in pass protection.
Yeah, it is a fine balance because that's him. Coach Saleh, he's a big human being, always has been. He probably was the biggest 12-year-old his city had ever seen at the time because, that's his body. You're genetically made to be that way. I myself have always been a big human being. I went through a little stretch in 8th grade where I lost a lot of weight, and at that point, I ballooned right back up. It happens. He's right. The balance of JC lifting the house, but also keeping his speed, his athleticism is something he's going to have to fight because, again, guys who have always been big, they usually mentally find themselves in a space well, if I'm not this size, then they're going to run over me. And that's what Coach Saleh is trying to find, that balance, and talking to him about, okay, do we need to lift the 150s? Or do we need to maintain and just lift the 80s instead of going up and just massing yourself the entire time? Because that's where JC's next step, I feel needs to be, or be conscientious about that thought is, I have to play this position for the long term. I saw a guy in Andrew Whitworth, man, who was a bigger guy and kind of slimmed down as he went longer and longer into his career. Like, you have to take those next steps. Like, he's not asking. I don't know if JC will be functional enough with how he likes to play. Not where he should be, but how he likes to play if he was 315. I just don't know if we see a good version of J.C. Latham at that point.
And he said yesterday he's 348.
You see what I'm saying? And that's a good weight for him. He's still able to move. He's athletic enough. I do think he's switched his stance up a little bit. He's squatting a little bit more in the stance, and that is figuring your body out as well. So I think he's in a good spot at 348, especially if you watch him in practice. He's moving. He might, the more optimal weight he might need to be at, it's just me thinking. But it is a mental side of this as well, Will and listeners. 330. What is he like at 330? And how does he get down to that weight as well? Like you said, he gained a pound. And I don't think everybody understands how hot and humid and sweaty it was yesterday in practice. For the most part, a guy like JC started practice at 347. They might end it at 341, 338 because of the amount of sweat and water that's being lost. Think about his body makeup. That's why sometimes when people look at like weight and scale and height and stuff, the BMI, right? What a person should be at. It differs. I've also seen coaches and teams start to also use the phrase that we've always used, like the big bone. Like, well, he might have more denser bones than somebody else. Like, there are measurements now that also equate, hey, he's just a heavier boned person as well. Like, there's a lot that kind of goes into it. Here's the thing. His management from here to December to January is where this becomes more of a conversation for a guy like JC, because naturally he will lose some muscle. There will probably be a fluctuation of weight from here and there, and that's where, with the training staff, he's got to be very aware of what he's doing and also maintaining his muscle as well. And I know it's going to be hard as the season goes on. And that was the one thing I was worried about when JC started on the pup. It's like, okay, well, is it upper body, lower body? Because if it's upper body, he can still work out and maintain his weight. Mm-hmm. And he still looks good doing it as well, too. He, to me, looks like one of the most well-conditioned players out there, period.
I have more confidence in J.C. Latham today, Ramon, than I think I have at any other point in his Titans tenure from what he is saying and what he is doing.
Facts.
I like what I'm seeing from him on the practice field. I liked what I saw from him against the 49ers. From what you said, he had maybe his best practice of camp against the 49ers last week. Got to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this consistency continue. But I really like what I'm hearing from J.C. Latham. It feels like he is taking a step and he is maturing as a pro. He doesn't sound as much like a young player. He is taking things in stride. I think he is taking lessons that he learned last season and applying them now to the practice field, both mentally and physically. I think J.C. Latham is in a good place. I hope to see him continue to be in a good place. And I think it is a massive development for the Titans on offense.
Yeah.
If you get a jump from your right tackle this season.
For sure.
He is one of the most important players on this football team for this year and for long term, because you may be looking for a left tackle next year. It's critical for you to only need to get one tackle, one of them, this time next year. 615-737-1045. More from J.C. Latham coming up next. I thought his explanation about a conversation with Jeffrey Simmons after the two of them got into it a little bit at Titans practice was interesting for a couple of reasons that we'll dive into next.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
What's happening, good people? Let me go on and tell you while you're walking into your weekend what you need to be looking for. That is a truck. Yeah, Mid-10 Ford, they got you covered. They're going to take care of you. All you got to do is slide in there and let them know, hey, man, Big Slay told me. And they will look out for you. Go in there and holler at my guys, Trey, Matt. They're going to be right there to help you walk through the process of going to get your truck. And guess what? It's nothing that's going to be pressure, no high pressure, just low pressure approach, no gimmicks, no pushy sale tactics. That's not what they're about. They're about getting the job done and getting you comfortable and understanding exactly what you're getting into. It's a one-stop shop. If you need service, Mid-10 Ford, they got you covered. They are the ones you need to be looking for. When it comes to the right vehicle, they got you covered. Even a body shop, service, financing, sales, they got it, all of that. All you got to do is go to 1319 Foster Avenue. Visit mid10fordtrucks.com.
Great stuff from Titans right tackle J.C. Latham at the podium yesterday after a Monday Titans practice that we will recap for you coming up here shortly. 615-737-1045 is our number. We've got Ron Slay very active in the F&M Big Chat this morning. If you want to go talk with him and us on the 1045 The Zone YouTube channel. Slay agreeing with you that week one against the Jets is much more of a must-win game than what I believe it is.
It's because it's the Jets. It's the way I look at it. Like a team that you're in the same conversation with about new coach. Well, not necessarily a new coach, but trying to build themselves back up. That coach is on the line as far as him being fired or retained. So that's the reason I look at it like that. Like I'm of the mindset this year. If you're going to get to 6 games, 6 wins, over 6 wins, then you got to beat the teams that you feel like you should.
It might be one of the most important week one games in Titans history. But I still will never say must win in week one.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from on that one. Like a lot can change after week one.
A ton can change.
But
after week
I
one.
do view this as like it's the Jets.
Yeah.
Well, they're also looking at it as like it's the Titans. So it's a pretty comparable week one matchup because it's two teams that both have had some terrible history in the last couple of years. But it's also week one, and there's some random things that happen, just like in the F&M Bank chat that I've mentioned, is the Patriots lost to the Raiders week one, and look what happened. They made it to the Super Bowl after having 2 really bad seasons, top 5 picks.
I'm not saying everything's going to be okay if they lose. No. Like, we will take a lot of calls that the sky is falling if they lose to the Jets in week one.
Yeah.
They will also still have 16 games to prove that was an anomaly.
Most definitely. But
the season does like must win or else what? That's always my follow-up question. If it's a must win, all right, well, what if they lose? What happens?
It just makes week 2 that much harder as far as the bounce back conversation.
Okay.
Right? Fine. The point of it is like this is a comparable team that if you lose to, you kind of say to yourself, like, well, what are we? We did all of that change and and we Cam grew and we changed coaches, et cetera, for it just gives more questions than answers in a situation like that.
For me, if you're going to say something is a must-win game, you've got to qualify why with specifics.
Moderately important on winning and resetting this franchise to start the season off 1-0 for Cam's sake, if he plays well, and the fact that Coach Saleh can beat his old team. Like and those are all theatrics behind the real gist of this. The real gist is just play good football. The theatrics behind it is you don't want to lose to a sorry team. Like that to me is what it is. And I think most people perceive them to be a bad team as well. Like Aaron Glenn, I like him as a person, as a coach. I don't know him as a person, but feel like I would like him as a person. Like he's more fired than he is hired. You don't want to give yourself a reason to be in that conversation with him. I know Coach Saleh probably don't give a darn about this whatsoever, but just the optics of it, you want to be on the right side of beating bad teams.
Yeah, of course, but you'll have 16 more weeks to do that too. Like, if you want to make the argument, if they're going to make a playoff push, it's a must-win. I agree. I'm willing to hear that argument.
Sure.
But to say just this blanket statement that it's a must-win game, to me, I think is a little bit overreactionary in the month of September.
Somebody says in the chat, if they lose, what happens? Nothing, just overly mad. Yeah. Okay, if I can be honest with you,
you got 16 more games to cheer those fans up.
I'm honestly tired of hearing from the mad fans.
Yeah.
I think we all are at this point. Yeah,
I'm not arguing against it.
And that's why it matters more, in my personal opinion. Like, this fan base needs to see all of this with the new stadium, all of this that we've heard about for over 2 years at this point in time. Like, this is the start of the change. At some point, you want to get to a point to where this is a cupcake game for you.
Yeah, for sure. I just think that week one is a liar. We're talking in circles at this point, just saying the same things over and over. We did put this to a poll at Ramon Will. Is week one against the Jets a must win? 71% of you say yes. I expected yes to win. I'm shocked that it's that high this early. Tyler writes in, says, not a must win, but Titans fans, preseason is a must win for some of them.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Will writes in and says, the Patriots lost to the Raiders in week one last year, so probably not. Oh, Will must be listening. I made the same argument about 30 minutes ago.
It's the Jets.
Let's go to 6-1 in Antioch. What's up, 6-1?
What's up, 6-1?
Good morning, gentlemen. Y'all cooking this morning. Y'all talking about a lot of stuff. I want to chime in on it, but I can't because it's so much.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you this, I want to start with the national media. Keep my Titans name out your mouth. If you ain't got nothing positive to say about this change that Salaganzi has brought to this team and to this city, keep my Titans name out your mouth. Every fan will not be excited about a 6-win season. I just look at a 6-win season as growth. But I expect my Titans to go to the Super Bowl every year because that's my team. My boy J.C. Latham, I look at him morphing into Jeffrey Simmons. He morphing. His mind is changing. His mindset is changing. And as the mind goes, the body goes, the performance goes. JC on fire. He's starting to eat. He wants to eat until the plate is clean, and then he gonna lick his plate when he's done. So let him do his thing. I think he's getting it together. Man, there's so much more going on in this Titans organization that people can't see it because they you know how it is when you got the not so attractive girl don't get all the dates, but when she blossoms into the prettiest girl in the room, here come the hound sniffing. So all I'm saying is everybody that's bandwagon, all the national media that's dogging us out, don't start sniffing at my Titans when they start looking good. Y'all need to start giving us our respect right now. Put some respect on our name. Go Titans, tighten up.
There it is.
Thank you, 6-1. Appreciate the call.
He won't know this reference. I feel like he's an older gentleman, but people that listen to me speak about this might know where I'm going. He sounds like the rapper Larry June's uncle, Uncle Herm, that he has on his skits. Like 6'1", you sound like Uncle Herm. That's all I was hearing was him in my ear as he was talking right there. But I ride with 6'1" on that. Stay down till you come up, man.
Coming up, you hear from J.C. Latham on what he talked about yesterday, his relationship and recent conversation with Jeffrey Simmons. After this, Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, halftime of the show. Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. If you are buying or selling in the Nashville real estate market, you need that local agent with years of experience and a proven track record. You need Bernie Gallerani of Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Bernie guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. Yeah, there's no risk to you. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home, and if not, he'll buy it from you. Some restrictions may apply, but Bernie is going to take care of all of the little things in this process. 615-428-2644 is his number. You can check out more about him online at BernieGallerani.com. You know that one house in the neighborhood that's got the for sale sign just collecting dust. There's nobody in or out. That's not going to happen with Bernie. He's going to get you top dollar for your home. He is passionate about helping Middle Tennesseans, and he's given out his cell phone number here on the radio, and it's got a 615 number. So you know he is that local agent that can help you out. 615-428-2644. That's Bernie Gallerani Real Estate, online at BernieGallerani.com.
8:02. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Titans news from practice yesterday. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky left practice with a bicep injury, and rookie wide receiver Cardinal Tate left after coming up dizzy after taking a hit by safety Kevin Winston Jr. Head coach Robert Saleh did say that both Trubisky and Tate should be good coming up soon. In NFL news this morning, according to multiple reports, free agent edge rusher Zadarius Smith is signing a one-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons per his agent. And the Colts and six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen agreed to a one-year deal overnight worth up to $8.32 million. The Colts now add quality depth to a thin wide receiver room. The 34-year-old is entering his 14th NFL season. Also, Saints rookie wide receiver Jordan Tyson, who's looked great in training camp thus far, per multiple reports, is expected to miss roughly 2 months with a hamstring injury. Tyson, whose injury is said to be not related to his previous one, could begin the season on short-term injured reserve. And in college football news, the first preseason AP poll was released yesterday. The Tennessee Volunteers are ranked at number 20. Ohio State got the preseason number 1 ranking, and 5 SEC teams made the top 10: Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show getting started on your Tuesday morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Supposed to be a little bit cooler out there today. Thank God.
Listen, my boy, with his southern dialect coming out right there. You said supposed to be.
Well, I feel like I'm pretty southern.
You are. You hear it, but you're a pro with it. You know what I'm saying? From time you really enunciate your words, and I'm the one that I like supposed to be. Appreciate you. You said that the other day too, by the way. You was like, appreciate it. I was like, look at my boy. I'm rubbing off on Will now. Rubbing off on Will.
I feel like I am more southern in the words that I say versus my accent. Like I feel like I don't have a southern accent, but I feel like there are times where I speak southern.
I'm hearing it.
I've lived in this state my entire life. I've never lived anywhere else.
Next thing you know, you're going to be out here saying, what up, cuz?
Well,
you did get the invite to the cookout.
That's true. I did. I'm going to bring cups.
Don't say it like
You cool
that.
with orange Solo cups?
Red usually is the color, but I'm cool with orange.
You don't want orange?
I'm good with orange. We all Vols out here, baby. It might be a Vandy fan pop up, okay?
Oh, they'll be all right. They can
force them to drink out of orange cup. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Will not be drinking out
You
the
get
bottle.
Vandy fans coming to cookouts with you?
You just never know. They hide. They hide under the veil of being Florida and Georgia fans.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, you just never know who you run. You might see a Star V pop up. Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Whomst amongst us knows?
I'm welcoming all good people. Do you hear me? If you
gotta
good,
be invited.
Well, and like you now, you're invited now.
I'll be over the grill with Slay talking about why the Jets game isn't a must-win.
That need to be the weekend too. That weekend right there. That weekend. But also RJ's turning 18 that weekend as well. Might have to have 2 shindigs. I had to have his birthday, 18th birthday shindig.
That's the weekend of the Eagles game or the Jets game? Which game? Which one are you talking about?
The second, Labor Day weekend, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's the second.
The week before the Jets game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Weekend before the Jets game, before they come in town.
I'll be in Knoxville for the Furman game. We do Sunday?
Sunday. Ain't no thing.
Tempt me with a good time.
As we turn the kids' party to an adult party.
Twist my arm.
I don't want to. I don't want to, but I will. I will, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Slay says, yeah, I'll be at the cookout playing this video over and over.
He will. He's that type
Make a remix of it for the music.
He's that type of petty, man. That's my dog. I don't know what got him to this point, but he is more petty than he ever has been in his life.
I'm here for it.
I mean, ESPN's Ron Slayer. That's my dog, though.
Television's Ron Slay. Hardest working man in showbiz.
He is at this point. I don't know what's next for him. He's going to be on College Game Day.
I was going to say, that's what needs to be next for him. Get him on the desk at game day and get his number 35 in the rafters in Knoxville. That's what needs to be next.
100%. I know.
Need more people to be awake into the greatness that is Ron Slay.
We talked about him going into the rafters in Knoxville.
Needs to happen.
It does.
Needs to happen. Absolutely. 35 needs to be up in the rafters in Thompson Bowling Arena. No doubt about it.
Absolutely does, man. SEC Player of the Year, All-American. Yeah.
In an era that really kick-started a lot of the good for Tennessee basketball right now? Absolutely.
He needs to be
and too many people forget about his teams and how good his teams were, too, and how they set the table for a lot of other good stuff that was happening in Knoxville for Bruce Pearl and for 35 needs to go up in the rafters.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely,
it does, man. But he also said he's editing videos right now, too. I don't know what Hawk has done to him. All I keep saying is, ain't that right, Hawk? Hawk, what happened? What did I miss, man?
Man, this dude is just not seeing anything other than his point of view.
That's usually how debates work.
He doesn't want to see the other side.
You need to get you got to get your. We've told you this before. You got to get your debate up, man.
Look, here's the thing. Week 1 doesn't have to be a must-win, but it can matter as a game. You can enjoy the game and say that it matters because you want to win the game because the Titans need to have a good start to the season, but it doesn't have to be a must-win. There's teams all over the place that don't win the first week but go on to have very successful seasons. The Titans are included in that. 2021, they lost week 1 to the Arizona Cardinals. You know what happened?
What happened?
The number 1 seed in the AFC.
Okay.
Things happen.
But there's context to be added. To be fair, real quick, Hawk, if I can just chime in. I'm not for you or Savage on this one, although you know we share half of the same blood. With that being said, though,
I'm on the wrong side.
No, you're not on the wrong side of it. I just want to bring up a point and want to hear you say what you feel about this. Is this, though? Do you feel like if you're in a situation where you know you're the better team or as equal as this squad and you lose, you feel worse about it? If a worse team beats you, do you feel bad about it? Like, this isn't Titans versus Kansas City. That's a little bit of a different context. Like, man, we'll see what happens in week 2. If you've ever been in a competition with something, Hawk, you feel like we should beat them and you lose, do you take it harder or do you say that was just week 1?
No, okay. That's never the case. And that's
but that's
not
the context in this, though.
Right, but that's not part of the argument, though. It's not about who you lose to. It's about it's week 1. You're taking your lumps. You're figuring out where you went wrong and how you can improve from it. So for the Jets, yes, to them or for us, they are the inferior opponent. You should beat them. But also, they are just as bad as you are. And look at the last 2 years. The Titans they've not beaten the teams that they should have been beaten.
But just walking through this is if you are of the mindset,
I'm not going to be happy about it.
And that's the point.
But I think there's ways to say the same thing. That you can lose week 1 and not be happy about it, but it also be okay. But in the moment, you don't like it. You kind of you watch the tape, you judge it, you go to week 2, where can you improve? And then you say, yes, it can be an outlier, but at the same time, you can say in the moment that you just don't like it. I think that's where things are getting a little bit lost in translation is it's the Jets. We did not want to lose to the Jets. You should have beat the Jets, but you did. Okay, let's move on because you know what? The NFL, you have to move on.
I would like to move on from this topic.
I know, but it's not an outlier, though, because, it's 2 teams that are sitting, rowing in the same direction in the same boat, and one of these teams is trying to jump out, preferably the Titans.
Right.
Let them sink.
And the Titans have sunk the last several years.
No, I'm talking about forcing the Jets to sink.
Yeah, well, they can make you sink too. You just have to look at it both ways, but it's just part of it. I think there's just multiple ways to look at it, and I'm trying to see all sides while also trying to be a little bit patient.
You hope everybody wins.
No, I don't hope everybody wins. No, God, no.
That was petty,
definitely no.
That's petty.
I think we're beating a dead horse at this point. I think we got to move on.
It's time to go get some glue.
What?
Peter's going to get me.
Time to get some glue. What do you mean?
You heard that?
No.
Glue truck for horses that die.
Oh, no. Oh, I've not heard that.
We're a carnivore station over here. Do you hear me?
Carnivore? We're eating a horse that's now dead?
You can go to Japan and get it.
Okay.
My homeboy sent me pictures of him eating horse.
Let's hear from J.C.
Black
Latham.
guy, too.
J.C. Latham. Thank you. Question mark.
I'm just saying. We explore, too.
J.C. Latham talking yesterday. He says Robert Saleh felt like he needed to apologize to Jeffrey Simmons, and a good conversation came out of it.
Yeah, Coach felt that I owed him an apology for just going up to him, trying to basically get him off Schlotty. And I also felt that, it was a time we had to talk my rookie year. I can't remember what week it was. It was on the tail end of the year, though. And we were basically trying to get on the same page. It's he's amazing, obviously. And I wanted to be the guy that challenged him, that made myself better going against him every single day. And, you know, sometimes that a guy like him, people kind of see him as, you know, this amazing player that they don't look at it. They look at it as a challenge more than an opportunity. So, you know, and I want to be blessed with the opportunity to go against him every single day. And we had that talk. And unfortunately, you know, it seems like so long ago, but, you know, just getting hurt last year, I felt like I didn't have that chance as much. I missed a few weeks in training camp, a few weeks in the season. So, you know, we didn't have that rhythm that we'd like to have. So, you know, I also wanted to talk to him about like, hey, like, let's just establish ourselves. You know, we pride ourselves on being fast and violent and being physical. So, you know, we're just talking about everything on how we both can do better, how I can do better, how I can receive leadership better, how I can be a better leader myself for, you know, our group. And, you know, part of being a leader is being a good follower, a great follower. So how I can do that as well, understanding that, you know, Jeff and Tajay gets into it all the time, but, you know, they're like best friends. And, you know, we were talking, he was like, yeah, like, you got to understand, like, Jeff's always going to pick on Tajay. Tajay's always going to pick on Jeff, right? And we were getting to the point where it's like, hey, okay, like, we're not going to stand for it. Even if you guys are best friends, we got to have a standard for ourselves, you know? And he said that's what he wants to see out of a O-line. He wants to see the guys, you know, sticking up for each other. He wants to see the guys going to fight for each other because he's showing, you know, checking guys' temperature, seeing if they got backbone or not, you know what I mean? So just getting on the same page as that, understand that nothing was personal at all with anything that happened. Just understand that, like, that's just how, you know, the game gets played. You play with a high tension and a high emotion. So at the end of the day, if you're going to defend your brother, sometimes you're going against your own teammate and doing so. So
I think a thoughtful answer there from JC Latham, Ramon, and I think a lot of good came out of a discussion with Jeffrey Simmons after maybe a heated discussion that wasn't as beneficial in the moment on the practice field.
My eyes are watering up behind that one. Okay, not the fact I almost choked on some granola. Okay, but my eyes are watering up because of that, man. It's so. This is why you do go after winning program players, because they understand what it takes. They understand that, like JC said, it ain't a challenge, it's an opportunity to go up against Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons has been the guy. He's the guy on this team. JC's point in which Coach made him go apologize was, we saw it, Will. It was a skirmish, right? JC crossed the line. He went a step too far. He was big dogging it, and I think his intent was right on him trying to protect Slotty or Tajay. But in that, JC involved himself in something that could also get him kicked out of practice and fined as well that will hurt the team. That's the point in which coach is making them like, hey, that's their relationship. You have to let those guys handle that. Every situation ain't for you to fight for them. And that was the way I guess coach looked at it. The way he went up to Jeff was lightly disrespectful. Not that Jeff's untouchable. Not that Jeff can't be challenged. He's the one that challenges Jeff all the time. It was funny the fact that he's mentioned Tajay and Jeff's relationship because Tajay and Jeff went at it yesterday. Tajay got back up in his face again after a play, I think, when he got hit to the ground, and Jeff went up to him, probably said something snarky to him. But the apology side of it, I saw a lot of people asking questions about that. Why do you have to go apologize? You don't want that to bleed. Jeff's the type of player that if you get me, I'm going to get you twice. And I feel like JC's the exact same way, too. It wasn't he got punked type of situation. He had to, humble himself behind it. It was a, hey, man, as a teammate, I went too far. I've had teammates like that. You know who I went too far with one time? Former Titan, Bud Dupree. Bud and I got in it.
In practice. With our teammates, yeah.
In training camp. Mm-hmm. Bud went far, I went further. He swung, I swung harder. And it just got to that point where it was just like, now Bud and I are cool as heck. One of the best teammates I've ever had in my life. But, you have to get to a point, what are we doing?
A lot of times, too, you end up having a closer relationship with guys you have encounters like that with than the guys that you just never care enough to kind of get into it.
Rob Ayers and me, same exact thing. No, it got to a point where coach wouldn't allow us to go in spring practice together anymore because my respect was the same as his. I was going to cross that line and he was too. And that to me I think is a great step for Coach Solid. I'm guessing that's who it was to be like, hey, I love the intention, but how you delivered this is not how we're trying to build this team up. I know you will fight him every single time, but that hurts us. that creates animosity on game day as well, that if every time y'all meet, y'all fight, then he's going to look at you sideways if it doesn't go your way. It needs to be a partnership in what you guys are doing. I thought it was perfect the way JC eloquently explained that, and also the response from the coaches and the players surrounding it as well. And it's just respect the boundaries too. Tajay and Jeff going to do stuff differently than you two will, and Tajay don't have to hit Jeff every play. You taking it a step far on him can end practice. Somebody going to get hurt.
Stuff like this proves the Titans right for not trading Jeffrey Simmons when they probably had the opportunity.
True.
This is why you keep Jeffrey Simmons.
Yo, it is.
Jeffrey Simmons doesn't just make your defense better. He's in part going to make your offense better.
Can I also say this too? Jeff also needs one more person with him. I'm not sure if it's John Franklin Myers or what, but like,
I think it is.
I would almost say like
healthy.
he can't be the litmus test for everything that the offense is trying to prove. Mm-hmm. It's like, is that like that's?
I mean,
heavy.
you'd like to have somebody in the secondary who then can be that for your skill players
Kevin
as well.
Winston Jr. looked like to be the part.
He had a good day yesterday.
He did have a good day.
He was popping dudes in the run game.
Yes, he was, and in the passing game.
Coming up, we will go the other direction for a minute. What I mean is, Ramon, we've motivated people today. We've motivated quite a fiery conversation in the F and Big Chat on the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. It's more Justin than me at this point. I said my piece and got out of there.
I've lost control.
You have. Let me calm everyone down. We'll hear from the Colorado strength coach coming up next. Hour 3 rolls on. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Ramon and Will. Coming up in 15 minutes, the latest from Knoxville via Austin Price of VolQuest, who I'm going to see tonight. VolQuest guys in town.
Hey.
Williamson County Alumni Chapter of the University of Tennessee.
Oh my God,
hosting an event that we were a part of last year over at the Franklin Theater. Little round table discussion with Brent Hubbs, Austin Price, and Grant Ramey tonight. If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, I could tweet out that link, and I think there's still tickets available. Come hang out.
Hey.
It was fun. Basically just an hour of Vols talk with the VolQuest guys that we do here on this show, just expanded with more time and some time for folks to ask questions.
Did a little bit last year, too, man. That's a good group out there, too, as well.
Yeah. I love the Franklin Theater, too. It's a great venue.
By the way, I know we'll get to it. We're about to go. But did you see Goodell recently?
No. What did he do now?
Goodell. Roger Goodell says there is no doubt NFL will have team base outside the United States that could potentially host a Super Bowl. Are we doing NFL Europe again?
Pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
I know we're about to get into a different topic, but where?
I have no interest.
Canada?
I would have more interest in that, but still very little.
I mean, are we talking about the mainland of the United States? Like, we can go to Puerto Rico if you want to.
Apparently, he told former NFL player Marcus Kuhn.
Yeah,
Kuhn.
Yeah.
At some point, there will be NFL teams outside the USA. I have no doubt that this will happen one day. There are definitely international cities that could host something like a Super Bowl, but we would like to see an NFL team in such a city first. I'll pass on both.
Why is Jacksonville doing the renovations? I figured that'd be the first team to go.
I'm just imagining the uproar if there was ever a Champions League final played in the United States. There'd be rioting in the streets in Europe.
No doubt.
And as there should be.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense. Moving on. But that's at top of the mind right now for the NFL. Well, no, it's not top of the mind, just a side conversation.
It feels to me like majoring in the minors. Caring about things that ultimately don't matter to the league.
If that's the case, just bring back NFL Europe. I'm okay with an eight league team. I mean, 8-team league. You know what I'm saying?
But that doesn't justify the means they're trying to get.
That's true.
Because the goal of having an international Super Bowl would be selling international broadcast rights for a much, 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 much bigger figure.
No doubt.
And then now all of a sudden, if the Super Bowl is played at a time locally in Europe where they can be awake to watch it, now all of a sudden they become more interested in the regular season because they can watch the conclusion live. Like, I've talked to Tony Husband of Apple TV, who covers MLS, about that. He's a big NFL fan from England originally. And he's told me, like, if you guys put your Super Bowl a couple hours earlier, a lot more of the world would watch it. Not only the game, but the regular season. Because a lot of people don't invest in the whole regular season because they're not willing to stay up until 2 a.m. for the championship game.
Right.
So that's one way to really profit.
You're not getting
on the international
at like 12 o'clock to watch a Super Bowl if it goes overseas as well. Like,
what they would do is make it 2 p.m. in the United States and make that 8 or 9 p.m. local time kickoff in Europe. Yeah, that's probably what you would have to do. I'm still good on that. I don't care.
The bubble is all I would say on this NFL thing.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on that too.
I'm good. The Colorado strength coach, Ramon.
Oh my God.
Is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. So the head strength coach is not the person you're about to hear. So, all right. Well, do you know the background behind this? I'm still confused by all this. So Andrew Sawasi is the head strength and conditioning coach.
Yes.
This is an assistant?
Yes. It's an assistant. And from my understanding, she was also in the nutrition side of things first.
Okay.
And just kind of worked her way over to the weight room. Yes, she was working in the cafeteria last year. Details a little off on that one, but strength and conditioning wasn't her role. Now, here's the other thing, though, too. People also go and get their accreditations, I guess, for being a strength and conditioning coach. You can go to school for that, learn more about it, be around it. Some are self-taught, some are also mentees in these situations as well. But, brother, this speech stinks.
So I believe this is Morgan Coate.
Yeah.
Who is on staff as a strength coach for Colorado football, going viral for a motivational speech to the Colorado football team.
Do your job and do it well and do it with pride. You guys all have one of the most known logos in college football. Be proud of that, because I sure as hell am. I'll tell you what, when I go home, and keep in mind, fellas, my family's from Canada.
No.
They know who you guys are. And football ain't like that in Canada.
Stop.
But they know who you are.
Stop.
And when I talk about y'all, I talk about y'all with great pride, because guess what? I don't do this for the love of the game. I do this for the love of y'all.
Come on, Coach.
And I do this because I want to see y'all be successful on that field.
I feel bad.
Go on, Coach.
I have secondhand embarrassment.
Go on, Coach.
What are you thinking if you're an offensive lineman at the University of Colorado?
Get off the stage! I'd rather be practicing. Oh my God!
Oh my goodness, that is
I'm from Canada. They know where you. Yeah, because you're closer to Canada. You're in Colorado.
My family loves you guys.
Yeah, because you work for them. This is like I'm all for.
Oh no!
I'm all for people being proud of their job and their workplace. This ain't it.
No. Maybe everything doesn't need to be a social media clip either. It's one thing to do this. It's another to go, oh, she cooked.
She cooked,
Let's put this out there for recruits to hear.
Who is that? You have a noticeable logo. You know who else has? Enron. Enron has a noticeable logo, okay?
If I'm a Colorado commit, I might be calling other schools. Hey, coach, you still got that offer for me?
Man, oh my gosh.
Maybe Colorado State's not that bad after all.
Oh, we gotta stop, man. You know who else got a real noticeable logo? Huh? I'm not gonna go that route today. I'm not. No.
Who else has
No, I'm trying to keep my job. That type of speech will have you losing your job, man. Who allowed her up like she wasn't ready for that moment. I'm gonna be real with you.
Who you guys are.
She wasn't ready for that moment. I'm gonna be real, talking and giving speeches. Like I was a designated guy in my locker room. They knew I was gonna come with some heat each and every week. You hear me? If the feet was on the ground, we was rolling. Whenever I closed it out, boy, they was, let's go. Running through the tunnel, I'm ready to go. This ain't it. I'm going to be real with you. No, don't you do that, Matthew. She tried. Yeah, that's it. She tried. It's triers, okay? And then there's people that actually do this. She don't do this. Like, her next time around, she'll be better, I think.
Juice on Twitter says, she sounds like a teacher trying to pump you up for a test knowing you are going to fail.
It's exactly like, we got to call this type stuff out. And I'm all for everybody playing their part. Like, and Coach Deion Sanders gave her the floor to do what she does, man, and be, you know what I'm saying, important to the guys. I'm starting to question you now. I'm starting, why? Why she get the floor? Huh?
Commenter says, couldn't have motivated me to make a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, my gosh. I'm talking about,
brutal.
They shouldn't. Who clipped that? Who said clip it, put it out for the people? It's for the streets.
Austin Price of AllQuest joins us. Coming up next, the latest on the Tennessee quarterback battle after this.
Gathering myself right here, okay, good people, because I'm motivated now. I tell you who else who a lot of motivation, man. That is Hiller, man. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, y'all. Y'all can trust on them, and you know the logo, and you know the motto. Their motto is happy you'll be, or the service is free. And it's simply because of this, man. You don't know what the issues are in your home, how much it'll cost, or if it's going to get fixed right. I do know this. The price that you told when you reach out to Hill is the price that you actually pay. No hidden fees or surprises on your bill whatsoever. They've been in business for over 35 years and a family-owned and operated. So you know they care about the work that they do for you and the reputation they try to uphold each and every time. Their techs, who are the people that come to your house, are very professional, experienced, and they're also trustworthy. Cool part is this: when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time as well. Again, to learn more about Hiller or to book with them like I do, simply head over to happyhiller.com.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. What's up? It's Will Bowling. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, and a long, drawn-out process. And listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. So call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. That's online at loanpronto.com. See how much you can get right now at 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or online at loanpronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Time for our weekly conversation every Tuesday morning here on Ramon Will, talking Vols. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling, one scrimmage down, one more to go on Rocky Top for Josh Heupel in his quarterback battle. Austin Price of AllQuest joins us now. Good morning, Austin. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We are good.
Good morning.
We got high school ball going on this week. We've got one scrimmage to talk about. We've got quarterback battle nuggets. And we've got an event tonight, Austin. I will see all of the VolQuest crew at the Franklin Theater tonight.
You will see us later tonight. We're going to see if we can drag Jason Swain to Franklin with us and get him to talk as the new color analyst.
Yeah.
Jason said Ramon's got to give him money, Jason. He just made the money sign as he walked by me going into practice here.
You know what they say.
So Ramon's got that NFL pension. He ought to be able to give Jason some money.
To be real with you, Austin, it's kind of nice lately, too. I'm watching the numbers climb up a little bit higher.
All of a sudden, Roger Goodell wanting to have an international team doesn't sound so bad.
It's like international NFL team don't sound too bad now.
I love it. Austin, what is the biggest thing we learned from scrimmage number one over the weekend in Neyland Stadium?
But this team's glad that you're not playing a game this weekend. You got a couple of weeks to continue to get better, continue to prepare. But they certainly showed flashes in all facets. Obviously, the quarterbacks are the needle mover here. Is we inch closer to kickoff, and from all accounts, Faison Brandon had a really strong scrimmage on Saturday, and he'll look to try to build on that this Saturday. And George McIntyre will look to. I won't say rebound because I don't think that's inaccurate, I don't think that's accurate, but I think he'll look to build off what he did and see if he can, kind of trampoline himself, back into making this a tough decision for the coaches.
Austin, if the kind of the story, the way I've read it from you guys is a little bit more Faison had so many positives. Not that there was necessarily a lot of bad from George. It was just what Faison did so well in this scrimmage. Is that kind of a fair way to put it? And what did Faison do to perform so well on Saturday?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate and put it in golf terms. George didn't make a lot of bogeys, but I wouldn't say he made a lot of birdies. And I don't think the guys around him helped, right? Receivers and tight ends dropped passes, a couple of low snaps while George was in the scrimmage. Faison made some plays down the field. I think ultimately one of the facets in Faison's game that you just can't simulate is his ability to move and run, especially when things break down. And so when the offensive line were to allow pressures, you're not, you're getting a blown dead whistle versus like in a real game that Faison takes off, what kind of play does he make? I think that's one of those things that the coaches are trying to figure out, how do you simulate that? How do you factor that into the equation when deciding a quarterback? But Faison made plenty of plays down the field in Saturday's scrimmage, and again, you never know who exactly that's going against. I'm not sure a lot of it was against necessarily the first team corners, but I don't think it was against the third or fourth string corners either. I think you had some solid players in there when they were able to complete balls down the field. Mike Matthews had some nice plays. So this is a quarterback battle that I think it's getting closer to its completion. I think after this weekend, I think Josh Heupel will work towards getting that done because that's traditionally what he does, and I think that's what he'd like to do if he feels comfortable enough making a decision.
We're joined by Austin Price of AllQuest on 3 this morning. Austin, how hard will it be for George to take the job back in the second scrimmage, if that's even a thing?
I don't know. I don't know how they're evaluating it. I don't know how they're, ultimately going to make the decision. I just know in talking to everybody at the scrimmage, and there were, lots of people in there from different facets, they all just were, glowing about Faison and what he got done on Saturday. And so I think you have to have a similar type performance this Saturday from George. Ultimately, George, I don't think can, just be, good. I think he's got to be great Saturday in the second scrimmage if he's wanting to make them or give them pause on making the decision.
Be a good problem to have right there. Are there any other surprises that came out of this scrimmage as well, Austin?
I think Tennessee's ability to run the ball continues to stand out. I think DeJuan Morris Javen Gordon, those guys have both been, really good when given opportunity. Same thing with Justin Baker. I think Tennessee's been able to run the ball when Deshaun Bishop has basically been, put on, a snap count, because ultimately they know what he can do. And so they're trying to get to the start of the season with him fully healthy. And right now he is fully healthy. So I would expect those guys to continue to get a ton of run. I would be shocked if Deshaun Bishop even scrimmages Saturday, but he's a competitor, so he may push the envelope with the coaches and tell them he wants to at least go a little bit. But I think they'll be very selective in who they scrimmage on Saturday, because you're this close to kickoff. I think you want to be as healthy as you can be.
Austin Price of AllQuest, our guest for his weekly visit on Ramon and Will. Austin, who's got the inside track in the wide receiver battle, and how much do you see that competition continuing into the regular season on as far as who gets the most reps there moving forward?
I think that one will definitely continue into the regular season. I don't think there is a leg up. I think, at different points, they all show kind of flashes, but the consistency isn't necessarily there. Rodarius Jackson has been the guy that was out there with the first team Saturday. He's been the one that, I think Kelsey Pope had probably, I won't say pinned in, but I think he had kind of lightly penciled him in to potentially being the third receiver. But then he got hurt, and Travis Smith had a couple of really good days of practice coming out of that injury for Rodarius Jackson, so that gives him pause. And then Tristan Keys flashes brighter than anybody when he flashes, but he also, because he's a freshman, will have the mental busts and mental mistakes that, will drive you coach crazy. So I think for them, this battle is going to continue well on into the season, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I think you're going to be able to go, okay, you were given X amount of snaps against Furman. You were given X amount of snaps against Georgia Tech. And I think by the time Texas rolls to town, you should have a better understanding and better idea of who your third receiver is.
Austin, how did Ori Williams hold up at right tackle in the scrimmage?
Solid scrimmage from Ori Williams. Again, I think that's the biggest thing you're trying to get out of him right now as he continues to come along in this offense, is solid play, no mental bust. I think he did have, one play where he had a hands to the face penalty that kind of stalled out a drive, but on the whole was very solid in the scrimmage.
No doubt. Austin Price with us this morning. Also on the opposite side of him, man, what kind of progress has this young defensive line made so far with the challenges that they have as well?
They're continuing to come along. I think when you look at the defensive line, they're going to continue to get better. Rodney Garner's got his cattle prod out there, and he's doing what Rodney Garner knows how to do. And in talking to some people over the last couple of days, I think when they went back and watched the film, they were way more pleased than they initially thought with the defensive line, especially some of the younger defensive linemen. So I think that's a group that, again, continues to show promise. They've just got to continue to build upon what they did Saturday, which, again, wasn't perfect, but it was solid.
No doubt. Man, terrible news about Idris Farouk and his season-ending injury. But who's getting those opportunities now with him out, and will they be able to match? I just thought last year he was one of the most physical players on the field no matter who they played last year, Austin. So who's bringing that, and where's that opportunity coming from?
Well, it has to come from Dejon Lane. The Penn State transfer has got to be that and then some. It's a blow. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Is it the, end all be all? No, because they have other players that can step up. But I do think that it's definitely a hit, and they've got to figure some things out really behind Lane. Is it Dylan Lewis? Is it Sidney Walton? If they run a lot of 4-3, do they throw Quay Moss back there to get your best 11 on the field? There's some options there for Jim Knowles, and I think that's what he's working through now that, Farouk will miss the rest of the season.
Austin Price of AllQuest, our guest. Austin, how is Tennessee preparing for these first two games without Arion Carter with his suspension right now?
Amari Campbell, Edwin Spillman, Jeremiah T. Lander, they're going to be the ones that get the first run here, as they are, to me, the guys right behind Arion with this linebacker spot. After that, it's Rouse, it's T.J. White, it's Jaden Perlotti, in that next run of linebackers. So if anybody had to miss, or if you had to lose a player or two with Jaden Harmon going down and be able to withstand it, it was the linebacker spots. You were plenty deep there.
And also on the way out, a commitment yesterday for 2028 at the quarterback position for Tennessee. What do the Vols staff like about Caden Kraft?
His ability to move, his ability to make throws on the run, his ability to throw the football. A very mature kid, just going to be a junior over there in Lake Norman, and just has a lot of leadership qualities, and again has a lot of mobility qualities that Joey Halsley and Josh Heupel liked a lot.
One bonus one for you, actually, on the way out. BA Baylor Thursday night, week 1 on national television. How good a game is this going to be with all the future Vols playing in this one? And does my alma mater have a chance, Austin?
They do. They definitely do. Paul Wade does a fantastic job. When he got hired, I told you all, he just wins. He just wins. And making it to the state championship game in year 2 proves that, falling short to Baylor last year. So the season ended last year with these two teams. It starts this year with these two teams, and they do have a chance at what should be a really, really entertaining football game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I needed to hear somebody else say it that doesn't have my bias, so I appreciate that, Austin. Austin Price of VolQuest, our guest this morning. Austin, I will see you later tonight. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Austin Price with us here this morning. Williamson County chapter of UT alumni. Just search them, go up to their website, click events, and right there you got a little night with the VolQuest guys tonight at the Franklin Theater. Should be fun.
That'd be good stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that's a good analogy on the quarterback battle, Ramon, about maybe George McIntyre still having a good day being around par. Faison Brandon just made more plays and made more birdies, and at this point may have a little bit of an advantage heading into the second scrimmage.
Flash matters, especially like Austin said, when you have to throw in the context of like Faison in a situation where he's using his legs and you see him get out of a situation as opposed to, bad snaps. And that's the other part though as well, Will, is I wonder if they flip squads this weekend as well. Will Faison go with the 2 group and George go with the 1 group and make it that much more dicey? Because again, the delayed throws probably has more context behind it too, like not getting rid of it on time. Maybe it was a defender in his way, or I don't know how it looked. These are closed.
Wouldn't you want to put Faison with the 1s if he has the advantage right now?
Well, then I have to ask the question, is this a true competition still?
I think so. I mean, I think everything that Faison has been given, he's earned. I don't think he's just been handed anything within this competition. I don't get that vibe.
I was just trying to look at it like if they are. My point is not necessarily the vibe of it. It's just even playing field. If I went with the 1s this time, I need to go with the 2s the next time. Do they care about who goes with who, or is because whoever wins this will have 2 weeks of preparation? That's my point. It's just if we really in a competition,
back and forth all camp though.
They have been. Yeah. Well, if that's
I know that for sure.
But dang. That's tough when your center's putting the ball on the ground like that in a situation which you need it for timing,
We got a question on the YouTube chat. I'm curious if you remember this because you have a tie to this answer. Mitchell hits us up and says, who was the last true freshman to start a season opener at quarterback for Tennessee?
Brent Schaefer.
Bingo.
Brent Schaefer.
Brent Schaefer is the answer.
That was fascinating.
22 years ago. Sorry.
You didn't have to say that.
it's
I didn't think it was that long ago. And I'm be honest about that competition.
Yeah.
I think Ainge should have won it. But there was so much more intriguing about Schaefer that was on the palate, I think, of Coach Randy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Randy Sanders, former offensive coordinator.
I think it was more on the palate of what he was capable of being. We just removed ourselves from the Michael Vick, Marcus Vick era, right? And like thinking to yourself, oh, he's from Florida. We might get something like that too. And
athlete, runner, yeah.
Schaefer didn't hit the playbook the way he was supposed to. He just didn't. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I think that is a good example, though, too, Ramon, that just because someone does win a job out of fall camp does not mean that job is set in stone for the season when you have a true quarterback competition.
And also the idea that once you get a spot doesn't mean that it's yours to keep.
Yeah, you got to keep it.
You got to keep it.
Every day is a job interview.
Every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And we evaluate this in front of stadiums weekly.
Plenty of examples of that. And, I mean, going back to the last time Tennessee had a true 50-50 quarterback battle. Maybe it wasn't 50-50, but at the time, Joe Milton won the job in year one of Josh Heupel over Hendon Hooker. Until a couple weeks later, Hendon Hooker became the starting quarterback in relief of an injured Joe Milton against Pitt and never looked back as long as he was there.
No, for real.
It's Titans legend Hendon Hooker to you.
Talk.
But really, I mean,
no, straight up.
I'm interested to see how this unfolds over the course of the entire season. Does Faison take the job and run with it?
Mm-hmm.
Are there freshman moments that give George McIntyre an opportunity for him to come in and make some plays? We're going to find out, but it's a really interesting season in Knoxville, setting the table for what a lot of people around the country think is a really, really, really good team on paper in 2027 if you retain your guys the way you think you're going to be able to.
If you can keep the quarterback from one year after the next.
Yeah, what a concept, right? Hasn't happened since, I believe, Jarrett Garantano.
You can't even keep a cornerback who was injured the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not over.
Welcome to college football in 2026.
I just can't.
A part of one of the top transfer classes in the country, too, at Texas A&M.
Go get it. Go get your bread. I get it, but dang.
It's the number 8 team in the country for some reason. 615-737-1045 is our number. Let's see what happened at Titans practice yesterday. If you missed it earlier this morning, as we begin the fourth and final hour, coming up next.
9:03. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Titans news from practice yesterday. Quarterback Mitch Trubisky left practice with the bicep injury, and rookie wide receiver Carnell Tate left practice early after coming up dizzy after taking a hit by safety Kevin Winston Jr. Head coach Robert Saleh did say after practice that he's not too concerned about both Trubisky and Tate. NFL news this morning, according to multiple reports, free agent edge rusher Zadarius Smith is coming out of retirement and entering year 12 in the NFL as he is signing a one-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. The deal's worth up to $6 million and has a chance to make $8 million. And the Colts and six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen agreed to a one-year deal worth up to $8.32 million. The Colts now add quality depth to a thin wide receiver room. The 34-year-old is entering year 14 in the NFL. College football news yesterday. The first preseason AP poll was released. The Tennessee Vols, they're ranked at number 20. Ohio State got the preseason number 1 ranking, and 5 SEC teams, Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma, made the top 10. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour of the show getting started. Away we go for 60 more minutes of Ramon Will. He is Titans radio analyst Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Back on the practice field tomorrow for the Titans with media availability as well. Friday, a joint practice with the world champion Seattle Seahawks. Coming up in 15 minutes, there is a Titan who is being baptized by fire right now at training camp practices. How are they going to be better for it? How quickly could they be better for it? We'll talk about the details surrounding that topic coming up here in 15 minutes. Ramon, your number one takeaway, aside from that we're going to get to here at 9:20, from yesterday's training camp practice was what on a day where Cam Ward looked pretty good?
Number one takeaway, Kevin Winston Jr. is emerging.
I think that's a good one. I noticed him yesterday, too. We didn't watch practice together yesterday. I had the exact same take.
It's been that way, though, for like the last 3-4 sessions. I feel like he's been Johnny on the spot. He's bringing a level of physicality to the game. I think his awareness of where he is on the field is playing a part in it. And I'll be real with you. I like his don't care attitude, like that he has at times. Not that he don't care, but like, he's there to work his muscle memory. He's there to be where he's supposed to be at on these plays. I see him asking questions all the time to his coaches, the communication that I know that the secondary has as well. Man, and you're watching him try to take on what others projected him to be was like a second-round pick or higher. I mean, he has that level of talent. And the other part, too, that's unique about him, man, is his size. He's not a small guy. Not even a little bit, but Kevin Winston Jr., to me, I feel like he's emerging more. There will be mistakes, of course, and his eyes and feet got to be at the right places. But I thought yesterday, numerous times, he was where he was supposed to be, either in the box or on the back end of plays.
6'2", 213, the size listed by the Tennessee Titans of Winston. 32 tackles last year, a sack, 5 QB pressures, 4 tackles for loss, 2 passes defended in 10 games played.
Yeah,
coming off of a torn ACL. You're right. I noticed him in run defense. I noticed him thudding guys in and around the play. Also noticed him tripping up Carnell Tate on a deep ball that Tate caught yesterday that sent him over to the sideline for a couple plays, and what Robert Saleh said was dizziness post-practice.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a hammer, not a nail.
Anything wrong with that play from Winston's perspective and the collision he had with Tate?
I thought he went for the chest. I think the ground caused more of an issue than the actual hit did in itself. Like, I thought it was more of, I don't want to say a chest contusion, but I think he just got popped really good yesterday. I thought it was a bang-bang play, met at the ball. There was no intent, I feel like, on creating any malice behind that hit other than I'm here to do my job. It's the same way we see defensive linemen hit you with a bull rush or linebackers come down with a thud. That was a safety thud, in my opinion. They were all just in the air.
It was a thud. I think the challenge of a thud like that, though, is that the player is a bit more defenseless than, say, an offensive lineman would be to that comparison, or a running back who can kind of see you coming. That being said, I wasn't bothered by it. I didn't think it was anything out of the ordinary for practice.
Those hits have happened.
I do think that is the tone that Robert Saleh and his staff have set, and they are different in how they respond when players hit the ground.
Okay.
It felt to me, and I'm curious if you feel the same way, like the last two staffs here were a bit more concerned when any player would be on the field.
Yeah.
On the ground.
On the ground, yes.
Like you would hear, like, hey, stay up.
Most definitely heard it from Vrabel.
This staff does not appear to be as bothered when guys hit the ground. No. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either, because they're also very aware of the injury prevention side of things in the method to their madness. Like, Robert Saleh is very intentional. We're not doing O-line, D-line one-on-ones very often. Mm-mm. We want things to be about playing football and less just beating guys up just to beat guys up on things that might not really make us better football players. They're just kind of like running a combine.
Busy work.
And so if there's more physicality involved in practice, let's have that physicality at least be involved in things that are football plays and within the context of football, not TikTok routes, for lack of a better term.
No doubt. For the longest, man, like I've heard defensive backs, secondary, just safeties, bring up a valid conversation that they deal with. And I'll even go like second level of the defense as well. Like, of course, in the role that I was playing, like they have a major concern on the physicality of practice, what's allowed and what's not. These guys, secondary, let's go with the safety position specifically because we're speaking about Kevin Winston Jr. These guys in a position in which week one, they got to ramp up how they hit. I've heard my former teammate Ryan Clark speak about this. Like, you want me to hit you up top, up high, and not your legs? Like, that's the thing that I think Kevin Winston Jr. is practicing right now. We've seen him shoulder hit. I think he ended up hitting Tajay and putting him on the ground yesterday as well. When he and Jeff got into it a little bit, it was Kevin, I think, that ended up hitting him. Like, he's hitting them in ways he's going to utilize in the game. There's a switch that has to be flipped when the season turns on the decisions you make, because if I hit you too low, okay, cool, you might get away from it, but if I hit you in the head, that's a fine. I felt like the way Kevin Winston Jr. hit yesterday, and I know it was against Carnell, but I didn't think it was anything egregious. He's just training his muscle memory to be in a position where I keep my head out, I keep my shoulders out away from your head and your shoulder pads as well. In my opinion, and of course I don't have the replay, but I didn't think it was a helmet-to-helmet hit. I think it was a solid hit. But it was also a football play being made.
He pulled up at the end of it.
He did pull up at the end. Like, it wasn't like he drove him into the ground the way I saw it.
No.
This guy plays safety.
He could have hit him a lot harder.
He could have tore him up.
I had no problem with it.
No.
In the moment, it was just like, oh, yeah, well, that's about fair.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the way I looked at it. I was like, okay, all right, cool. That's fine.
I think to tell you the way the team felt about it, too, typically when you have a hit that's a bit unfair or out of bounds.
Yes.
Offensive guys will come and get in the face of the guy who laid the hit. No doubt. I think it spoke volumes that nobody on the offense ran up to Winston and had any issue with it whatsoever.
You had Wandale trying to get him up. Like,
yeah, you had them yelling at Carnell, get up, we're in no huddle.
Yeah.
And that was really the only communication. I think if players felt like that hit was unnecessary, they would have said something.
They would have ran to it.
And we've seen it happen. I mean, heck, over the weekend, Julius Chestnut got thudded by Josh Williams, who had a non-contact jersey on. And I think some offensive players took a little bit of issue to that. Like, hey, man, if you're non-contact for us, then you better be non-contact to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little bit of issue taken there. Heck, Tony Adams took issue with something during practice. He got thrown out for throwing a little punch during practice.
Seriously.
Like, if Winston did anything malicious, I think we would have seen a more intense reaction from the offense.
Can I speak on the punch too?
Yeah.
This one particular guy has become an agitator more than I ever thought he was going to be. Alec Ayumanor.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit too.
Hilarious, man.
I don't know about you. I don't see him as that kind of guy.
No. Until you're around him. Like, I've been in close proximity, and I'm going to keep that conversation there.
Sure.
That brother got it in him. Now listen, if the Colorado coach had spoken, I know Alec Ayumanor.
Here we go.
Like, I'd have believed her, okay? But Alec is He knows how to twist the knife, is what I would say on that one. Because Tony's a vet. Tony Adams is a vet. How it went from a push shove to a punch, I don't know what Alex said, but that's going to get you some extra penalties on the field against the opposing team.
So you're saying Mason Kinsey has competition now for the best Titans wide receiver trash talker?
Yeah, he does.
Or maybe I shouldn't say best. The most active trash talker on the Titans wide receiver group.
Listen, brother, this dude know how to get them dudes going, and he's done it numerous times so far in training camp. I think with the big melee, I had somebody tell me, like, he's walking away smiling and laughing and stuff, still jawing. Like, he's nowhere near the fight, but, like, he gets it. Like, I do think, like, he has that edginess about him, and I do look at, not that he's overdoing it, but he's in a position where he's got to kind of prove his worth, and he's doing it through his play as well. It's just that this jaw-jacking coming along with it is super cool. I enjoyed it, which, again, gives more credence to my conversation is Cam doesn't have to be the guy all the time doing that. Tajay does it. Alec does it. JC does it now. And then I think you'll end up getting Carmona as well. Like, we can cook with that one. We can absolutely cook with that.
Defense kept the offense out of the red zone at the end of practice when they needed a touchdown. So defense won the end of practice, which is a bit more competitive between offense versus defense. I thought Cam Ward made some good throws at the end of practice. Couldn't quite punch it in on fourth down. It also didn't help that Alec was celebrating and talking after a catch. And he got an earful from Cam Ward telling him to get back on the line. They got to spike it and they got to move. He kind of maybe lost a little bit of his bearings on what the end of practice was. And I don't think that would have been as big of an issue in a game, but practice obviously a little bit different. They sent pressure at Cam on a final play of that red zone period. Not red zone period. It became a red zone period because it was 2 minute. Scenario was Titans offense needed a touchdown and defense heated up. Cam forced a bad throw on the last play with 3 seconds left, and that was it. Mitch Trubisky did not finish practice. Robert Saleh said he's getting looked at for a bicep injury. He said, I think we're good, but I'm the eternal optimist. I mean, if he's not out there tomorrow, that's what he said.
He's an optimist?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think maybe just in injury context. Like, I'm optimistic about these things. I don't know.
You hardly have defensive coach. I feel like the world's burning when they are head coaches. That's good on him, though, for that perspective.
We don't have to have the is Levis your quarterback 2 conversation yet. But at some point, if Trubisky is out for an extended period of time, opens up Pandora's box. You willing to let Will Levis back up Cam Ward?
I kind of want to see it in this preseason game.
I do, too.
I
do, too.
I'm cool with Mitch just bowing out on this one.
I would love to see Will Levis with better pockets in front of him than what he had on Thursday in San Francisco to really test what he can do when this offense is opened up a little bit more.
I'm not rooting per se for Levis, right? Like, I like to see people succeed. I kind of want to see in a better-ish situation.
I think you can root for Levis. Doesn't mean you're rooting against anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing. I guess I can't. You're right. There's nothing I'm rooting against.
Right.
Of the 4 quarterbacks.
We can root for everyone.
Yeah. I kind of want to see him in a better situation. The O-line did him a disservice this past week. And running back to, like, come on, man. You can't. He could barely get the play going. I do and hope he acknowledges this himself. His biggest attribute is how he scares team with his legs. He had a legit run yesterday, too, I think, that scored with his legs.
Yeah, and I think that is what this offense is under Brian Daboll.
That joker's an athlete. I got to give it to him. He's an athlete.
No question.
Yeah.
No question. He is absolutely an athlete. He's not Taysom Hill.
No.
No one's asking him to be run first. But can you be run some?
I'm going to be real with you. I think he could turn into a version of it.
I mean, that's the thing that I think he could do to make himself better. Because when his primary target isn't open, that's when he makes too many bad decisions still to be a full-time starter in this league. Brother, just tuck it and run, man. Yeah. You can make guys miss.
Don't take the ball out the air. Like, don't pass it. Run. Yeah. Like, I'm with you. Like, his bad mistakes comes when he's thinking about putting the ball in the air. Like, he's thinking about putting the ball. No, just go.
Right. Because his processing just isn't NFL level to be a starter in this league as we sit here today. Maybe a different coaching staff brings that out of him. Maybe somebody can fix that part of his game. He is as physically gifted as most quarterbacks in this league. It's what happens when his primary target is covered. It's either he's holding the ball too long and taking hits, or he's forcing it to that primary target anyway. When he's on time, on schedule, with a clean pocket, and his number one target on that play is open.
He threw one of Restrepo yesterday. That was a
He
dot
still looks good.
going across the field.
But welcome to playing quarterback in the NFL. The times where that happens are slim.
Yeah.
Are very slim. And that's why it is so hard to develop quarterbacks in this league. You just never know who's going to be able to learn how to get to their second or third read at NFL speed and who's just always going to be stuck in, well, if my first guy's open, I'm good, and never be able to grow beyond that. Coming up, there is a Tennessee Titan being baptized by fire right now. We'll explain what we mean coming up next. So there is a Titans player who has been trending in the right direction. It's good news, right?
Great news, brother.
Well, there comes certain privileges with trending in the right direction. That's getting to block Jeffrey Simmons at Titans practices. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Ramon and Will in studio this morning at 104.5 The Zone. Fernando Carmona has got to be one of the most talked about fifth-round picks in football this year. He's also got to be one of the most talked about right guards because we talk about this offensive line a lot, not just because you played on an offensive line for 11 years, but because this offensive line has not been good for a long time.
Right.
And the success, the health of quarterback Cam Ward depends on this offensive line playing better. Fernando Carmona is getting baptized right now by Jeffrey Simmons, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
How much will this help Fernando Carmona struggling a little bit right now against Big Jeff?
It'll help him a ton if he's realistic about it. Not everybody, number one, is going to be Jeff, but he's also got to be able to have a very transparent conversation with him and ask him, what are you doing? What are you seeing? Am I too overbalanced outside? Do I need to sit more back inside? What are you making me do that's causing me to miss or whiff on these said blocks and protections that I'm supposed to have as well? Like, there's so much that goes into your pass set. One, the down and distance, quarterback. How quickly can I lose? You know, how long do I have to stay on that? These are things that go into this conversation, too. Where's Jeff lined up at? Does Carmona know if he's lined up in a tight 3-2 or 2-I? Is he in a wide 4? You know what I'm saying? Over the tackle almost. How does he set? Does he need to be more wide or does he need to get more vertical? These are the questions in failure that you have to ask yourself, especially at this position, because the quickest way to give up a sack now that NFL has realized is more and more is over the centers and guards. And that comes with a whole lot more pressure right now. Like, it is a beautiful process to fail sometimes, especially when you're in a position of winning this position as far as right guard goes. But you also understand that you're a young guy, so much you do not know. So if he'd have gone through this entire preseason, man, he's had an awesome time. This is good. I can't wait to watch him. Then he gives up 2 sacks the first game. He didn't learn anything by having a successful camp. This failure is a part of his next step on being a pro. He's never seen a guy like Jeffrey Simmons in college. I'm sorry. He played against my Vols, and we ain't have a guy like this. I asked the question to myself earlier, have I seen a guy of this ilk? Like the quickest one I feel like I've seen with power and speed was probably Geno Atkins. I'm going to always give credit for. Malik Jackson had the length, but like playing against a long-arm tall guy is different. Jeff sits at, 6'4"? You know what I'm saying? 295, 300 right at that point right there. Geno was 6'1", maybe 6'2", 275 if I'm not mistaken. He might have hit the 300 threshold, but it was shorter, quicker, and I can pretty much body him.
6'1", 300 for Geno Atkins.
Geno, exactly.
So you're exactly right. Similar stature, just not as tall.
Just not as tall.
Not as long.
And, like, the one thing that Carmona also need to realize in this moment right here is this. Failure is okay, especially in practice. Minimize it as much as you possibly can. Go back and watch the tape. But then here's the part I feel like in failure we forget sometimes as athletes. I, too, possess skill sets and attributes that can lend myself to be successful. Carmona is known as what on his profile? Well, he's big, tall, strong, and angry. Nasty.
In a good way.
In a good way.
I mean that as a compliment.
The one thing that he needs to do is, if Jeff's beating him left to right, find a way to make Jeff go through the middle of you. And the moment that Jeff decides to go inside, where are your hands placements? How are you able to utilize those to where he's not just beating you clean? He's having to fight to a finish. You can just push him around the edge. I say this all the time when it comes to offensive linemen, and specifically for quarterbacks. Pressure's a part of the game. You're 3-4 feet away from the quarterback at all times. You're going to get pushed back. These dudes lift weights as well. And that's the part in which he's got to be okay with compartmentalizing in his mind. I'm in the quarterback lap, but I didn't lose. And that's where he's got to kind of set himself up moving forward. Use your size. I'll be honest with you, I kind of said that to him the other day. It's like, hey, put yourself in a position where you got mass. That was my biggest attribute. Same thing, the reason I smile so much with the JC conversations, like, JC's got mass. I dare you to try to run through him.
Is it fair to say the offensive line, Ramon, has had a good week?
I would think it's very fair to say that. But guess who they're picking on? The rookie. Picking on Carmona. And that's all right because in game situation, he can be covered by Slotty. I think that's what JC's called.
Slotty, yep.
Slotty, he's
Austin
covered
Schlottman
on his left and on his right by Slotty. And I think there's a lot to be said about game scenarios being a little bit different. But in those gotta-have-it moments, Will, the offensive line has answered. They started off practice right. They've set an attitude, I feel like, for the entire offense. But it's not without mistakes and fault, too.
I should specify, the starting offensive line has had a good week.
And Carmona's had a good game. But you're right. Yes, you're right. Starting offensive line.
Backups did not do very well protecting Will Levis the other night.
No, they didn't. I think that even in the 2-minute drill yesterday, I think I saw guys touch Will Levis like, I got him. He's dead in the ground.
Right.
Those type of situations right there. But, yeah, your starting five has been good. But here's the other part, though, too. You got your 5 plus, 3 more. Who are the best of the rest of that group right there when we're talking about active 53-man roster? I'm not sure if they're going to keep 10, right? But it might be a situation with this team specifically. They might keep more D linemen than they do offensive linemen.
Depends on what young developmental guys you feel like you can't push through to the practice squad. Like, how important is it for you to keep Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon around?
Right.
To keep someone like Andre James around, who is another backup option like Jackson Slater, Cordell Volson. I mean, between Andre James, Cordell Volson, Jackson Slater, you probably have room for 2 out of those 3.
You do. And again, with 16 spots being allotted now for the practice squad, you can pick and choose who you're willing to keep. Maybe you don't keep some of the wide receivers.
Robert Saleh was asked, how do you grade Fernando Carmona on a scale for a player who is so young, who is trending in the right direction, but is now swimming in the deep end of the pool against all-pro Jeffrey Simmons?
You know, Jeff is arguably the best in football, so this is about as good as it's going to get for him in terms of the competition level, but it doesn't matter. I mean, there's every week we're not playing an FCS opponent. You know, it's not Alabama versus FCS or Ohio State versus FCS. It's everyone is the best of the best of the best, so he's just got to show up every week, and it'll be exciting on Friday. You know, completely different techniques on Friday for him with the way Seattle plays their fronts, completely different body types, completely different movers, and so it'll be good for him.
Commenter on YouTube says, Carmona is a steal in the 5th round, another Borgonzi nugget. I think he's shown us flashes that he could be a steal, but I don't believe in somebody's rookie preseason that anyone is a steal or a bust or anything yet. I think we still need to temper our expectations because Fernando Carmona is still going to give up sacks. He is still going to get beat. He is still going to show you rookie growing pains, and that's to be expected for a young player. Mm-hmm. However, I have optimism that they may have found something here. It's early. But, Ramon, I feel like they have found their starting right guard in Fernando Carmona. I've become more and more confident in that statement over the last week. I think he's their guy at right guard, at least to start the season.
I thought it since day one after looking and evaluating. Like, he fits their profile. You look at Dabo's offensive lines that he's had, not necessarily Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh comes from a San Francisco 49ers mindset.
Different system there, too.
Different system offensively. They have, I think, smaller guys, I feel like, for the most part, in their group. This group was a power group. Like, they can move in space and stuff like that, but they're trying to move the line of scrimmage north and south. It's the way I view their types. And he's 6'5", 325, whatever his weight is right now. You got Slotty at 6'5", 315. Like, across the board, they're a big offensive line. I think even Dan is holding like 315 himself, 315, 320 himself. So this is a power group. I think you saw that when they started off at the 5-yard line in San Francisco and ended that series with a touchdown on the ground as well. They want to play bully ball, and Carmona fits it. It's on him to keep holding on.
Another thing that Robert Saleh likes about his rookie right guard, Fernando Carmona, is the communication piece.
It's good. You know, Carmona's a great communicator. He's very smart. You know, between him, Skoronski, and Slotty, they're really good on the interior and communicating things out to Dan and JC. So it's so far like I said, they've been doing a really nice job. It starts with communication, so they at least know what to do. And then from there, you just let your God-given ability take over.
Mm-hmm. Robert Saleh speaking post-practice yesterday. Of course, Schlotty is the center, Austin Schlottman.
Yeah, there's no secrets out there. I think at this point in Carmona's career, and also just having a new three, basically, other than Peter Skoronski, they have to be on the same page more than I feel like anybody else, too. So that communication is not bad. I tell anybody, so what if they know? They still got to stop us.
So Pro Football Focus last week ranked the Titans 29th in ranking every offensive line in the NFL. And that's with Cordell Volson penciled in, which I think we would have also had penciled in as a starter until last week in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Ramon, what's the potential for this group?
Man, I think if they possess the run skill that they did in San Francisco and what we've seen in training camp, I'll just be top 18. It's kind of where I want to sit.
League average.
League average.
Get back to league average.
Top 18 is kind of how I look at it. I don't want to go too far and go top 16, top half of the season. About 1 to 18 in that range right there.
This offensive line becoming league average would be a significant improvement. Significant improvement.
The one thing I wonder, though, is getting to that top 18. Is it because they have a good ground game? You know, like.
Is it because also Cam Ward is finally getting the ball out on time?
Yeah. That plays a part.
And keeping you out of 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 12 because he's also progressing. Like, Cam Ward can make the offensive line better by improving himself. Yeah. Carnell Tate can make the offensive line better by giving the Titans an option who can win quickly one-on-one on fades, on quick outs, on slants, like the kinds of routes where you are getting immediate separation. Or even if you're not getting separation, you're winning so many contested catches that you don't have to wait 4 seconds for someone to get open.
You know, it was a beautiful part about the Tajay Spears run in San Francisco. Every single offensive lineman was still engaged in their blocks. He cut and started 3-4 times, didn't he, Will? Before the play ended, every single one of them were still engaged in their blocks for the most part. That's why that run broke.
To keep everyone's powder dry, a good week for the starting offensive line does not mean that they have arrived by any stretch of the imagination. Just like how one bad week or one bad game in preseason for Cam Ward doesn't necessarily mean he's a bust. We'll play both sides of this. We're not just going to be positive. Like, there is a world where they get humbled a little bit against a really good Seattle front this week, and we're a little bit more back to where we were pre-San Francisco, because let's remember, San Francisco did not have a player with more than 4 sacks last season.
Right.
So maybe not the most difficult test for them, especially when you consider that no starters are playing. But just looking somewhat competent, Ramon, is still a step in the right direction.
Facts.
All of that being considered,
Facts.
past seasons have seen all of that not matter. Like, oh, we're playing a team that's not a great defensive front, and they're still getting to the quarterback, and they're still stuffing the run game. It's a step in the right direction, and I think this team has a potential to get back to being a league average offensive line if these 5 guys stay healthy, and that's an important caveat because I am still worried about the depth beyond the first 5, especially at swing tackle.
I'm with you there.
615-737-1045. We'll play you what J.C. Latham had to say about Fernando Carmona coming up after this. We'll get to Drew on the phone lines, where you can hop in as well. Final call for phone call, 615-737-1045.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Wrapping up the show on Ramon and Will, 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling. Puck Rising on deck to wrap up your Tuesday, get you through lunchtime. Let's go to Drew. Wants to talk about Fernando Carmona. What's up, Drew?
What's up, Drew?
Morning, fellas.
Morning.
Gives me some confidence, not a lot, that he seems like he's separated himself at this point in camp. That seems like it's no longer a competition, which I'm sure it still is somewhat of a competition, but he's getting all the run with the ones. Mm-hmm. So that's a good sign for me that a rookie has separated himself. And it feels like J.C. Latham, after listening to him yesterday, it just feels like he's ready to take that step that what y'all have been talking about he needs to take for year 3. I just want to get you guys' take on that and just see what y'all think about how the offensive line seems to be shaping up at this point in camp. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to hang up and listen.
Thank you, Drew. Agreed on all fronts.
All of them, man. What's his name? I would tell you what's gotten Jay. I want to start with JC. Like year 3, that is the step that you're absolutely looking for, right? When it comes down to a guy being a vocal leader, having done enough as well to warrant that type of verbal leadership, and also he's just showing it. So I think he's much more calm in his body as well, and like watching him take those steps. And right now, we spoke about it in the offseason as far as offensive leadership. Who's the guy that you absolutely believe in, right? And it's nobody had an answer for it. JC's taking that role. I think that side of the ball will do it for you. Then the last side, man, just on the financial side of it, Darnell Wright will do it for me as well. Chicago Bears, $100 and whatever million for a right tackle, that'll do it for you too. I'm glad that actually happened for the sake of J.C. Latham too, because I feel like when you look at the procedure playing left tackle, which is why I think he wanted to play it at first, was because they get paid, they get broke off. And now we're saying it doesn't matter. Darnell Wright signed a 4-year, $116 million deal with 93 guaranteed. He just watched Peter Skoronski be one of the highest paid guards, or is he the highest paid guard still in the NFL? Motivation comes from many different avenues, but I hope at the back end of it or in the front end of his mind, it does come through him wanting to win and go kill this for this team, man, and actually drag guys. Again, I'm watching him bark, be loud, finish plays, and still talk more trash.
Oof.
I'm talking about getting to it, man. He is of the mindset to me, and watch him take this step is, I can lead you to this water trough over here and have you drink, or I can just drown you. Like, that's what I'm seeing.
One of your more darker metaphors.
And it's necessary for some dudes. You either get down or you lay down. Cordell Volson, if it's not you, I'm going to go find somebody else. And it'll be the same thing if Carmona doesn't keep his level of play up.
Volson had a little bit of a rough day Thursday against the Niners, too.
He did. He needs a get-right day just for...
Yeah, it's an important week for him.
Yeah, it's a really important week for him.
To make the team.
You see how many nose tackles that are on this Seattle Seahawks roster, by the way?
I've not.
I'm looking at it, just trying to brush up on it. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nose tackles by position. Now, they'll probably play 3 technique as well. It's between that, and I feel like they got 15 at-position linebackers. Now, that's off-ball and outside linebackers as well. But they got a unique defense, man. I'm interested to see how the Titans block this up.
Nobody's smelling more sense than the Seattle Seahawks.
What does that mean?
A lot of noses.
Went right over you.
Stop, Hall. You made...
I got that one.
Oh,
I
did.
Not that. God.
What is wrong with
First down Titans. Here's the Seahawks defense.
I feel like I need Stoney Keeley to let me know if that was a dad joke.
That's some vivid ASMR right there.
I've never seen this many nose
Tackle made by Williams. Second down.
Oh, my gosh. What is wrong
The whole
with
sideline.
The Seattle Sniffers.
The Seattle Sniffers is what they're going to end up being.
With musical guest, the Seattle Sniffers.
Between Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams, though. I hate you right now. I
think we're going to end early today.
No, we're going to keep it going, man. We're going to keep it going. This is a great challenge. I can't wait to see this joint practice on Friday.
Let's hear
No, we don't need to hear anything else anymore. All right.
J.C. Latham said about Fernando Carmona. yesterday at Titans.
Keep on. I'm going to think something else went up your nose sniffing
Practice.
like that.
Go.
I mean, I feel like he matches all the guards really, but playing with him longer throughout this camp, I feel like he matches, the craziness that we have. We all have handshakes out there. Our handshake is just two hits to the chest and a head bump, really heavy head bump. So, but yeah, I mean, he matches the intensity, and I really like to see it. He's not flustered. A lot of times when you play O-line, you can't be consistent with every single call. You got to be able to, have some dummy cadences, dummy calls, and he's not allowing that to throw him off his rhythm at all. So, I mean, it's really exciting to see. And then, the curve, he's a rookie, so, you go out there and expect some level of learning curve to the game, and I feel like he's done a great job thus far. But then the guy he's lining up against is the best 3-tech in the league. So, he's going against Jeffrey Simmons, and it's times where it's like, he does pretty good, and there's other times where Jeff gets the best of him. And, part of us is like, as a whole, like we all try to help each other out, where we're like, hey, we could do this better, we could do that better. But in the same time, that's Jeffrey Simmons. So it's like, you line up and you say you're going to do this, do that, and execute as best as you can. And sometimes, they get paid too, so they might win a rep every here and there, whatever it might be. So we try not to look at it in a sense of like hold ourselves down or, put our heads down, whatever it might be. Understand that we can always get better with every single rep.
J.C. Latham speaking yesterday about Fernando Carmona.
Look at him get real PC at the beginning of it, though.
He caught himself, didn't he?
He did catch himself.
He was real close to, oh, man, he just matches my energy. But all of them do, actually. All the right guards match. It's a good teammate.
Great teammate.
It's a good teammate.
He knows.
Well done, JC. That's a good catch.
That was real good, man. But you do.
But we can read between the lines of what he's saying there.
Yeah, watch the reps.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Aaron Glenn, real quick, at Jets practice this morning, says that Breece Hall is expected to be available for week 1 when the Jets visit the Tennessee Titans. Out for 2 to 3 weeks. We are back at it tomorrow morning, live again from Titans training camp, 6 a.m. We'll talk to you bright and early.
But remember, your Twitter fingers and your mic are always hot.